Not that
Not
I
that I
know
know
of.
of.
Okay. My producer usually goes, it's paranormal and go. That's what I
Right.
get for it. Like, oh, all right, paranormal and go. Gotcha.
Hold on.
Hold on.
We're
We're
echoing.
I hope you're being safe at work, Dwayne.
Still like, yeah. We are live, but we're trying to work out some technical issues real quick.
Okay.
okay.
If it's my abilities that brought it, I'm sorry. My abilities have been leaking over to everybody this week.
Are we echoing?
Yo.
I have a headset. I'm not really sure if it will work, but I got one. I got two.
I mean, you can try that.
Do you need me to have a headset on?
I
I
don't.
don't.
Okay.
I mean, you can try it though. Hey, Trisha. Hey, Christina.
Let's see. Is that the plug-in one? That's the plug-in
It's
one.
gonna be just a second.
Bad echo. I think it's on mine and Dwayne's in.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not mine and you're just trying to be polite?
I don't hear the echo when anybody else talks.
It's only here when me and Dwayne talk.
Okay. Found the headset. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
It works.
Wait.
No
our echo went
echo.
away.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
what
it's not
it was.
echoing now.
I do know a little something. I just don't know how I do it, or how to undo it is more like it.
Hey, Sandy Hickey.
All right. Now that we're officially live, do your introduction and we'll start.
All right, so everyone, as you know, this is Darknite Radio. Technical difficulties at their finest, but nonetheless, here we are. We're back live in action. It's been a few weeks. As you know, we went and done an investigation at some place and time in, and we kind of we were supposed to have Miss Lisa on last week due to thunderstorms and terrible internet and the thunderstorms. We were unable to make that happen, but nonetheless, we finally are able to make it happen tonight.
Hey, hold on, Katie, come here. Just to ask you a quick question off the top, Lisa. Do you read children?
Yes, I do.
You want to do a read on my daughter? She's never had one. My other daughter had one by Joni and had her mind blown.
Okay.
Bring your headphones.
Go ahead.
Who's the little boy? Who's the little boy in your class that has a crush on you? I want to say if you're sitting at the desk, he would be either directly beside you or kitty corner beside you. Oh, sorry. Wait, did your parents not know about the little boy?
Is there a little boy in your class?
No.
No, I'm cool. Like,
His name was Isaiah.
Isaiah? You talked about Isaiah before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now listen, you're how old?
12.
Okay, you're 12. You got years ahead of you. So if he starts talking to your friend, it's not like he likes your friend better than you, okay? You just need to let it go. I know it feels like a lot of drama, like a mature relationship, but you got years to go. Pace yourself. I'm also being told by Spirit you need a reminder that if you focus on work and your grades, that you're going to do very well as an adult, but they don't want you to think you have to get married right out of high school, this and that. I don't care what your friends are doing. If your friends jumped off a bridge, you don't follow them. You need to stay and pick. I see finances, so it's either an accounting or bookkeeping, which you're going to get paid a pretty penny. Save your money. Because when you can save your money, buy your own house yourself without anybody else, you might have a few little less fish in the pond. They're going to be better quality fish with life insurance, health insurance, all this stuff that you're going to think is important later. Now, this boy, Isaiah, I do see you going to the senior prom or semi with him. So he's going to be a life. And there's a female older woman coming through, and she wants to tell you you're just absolutely adorable, and you remind her I believe it's your mother.
She's a spitting image of me. You know who it is? I already know who it is. Let's see what else she says.
She said she couldn't have pictured your daughter to look anything else other than what she does now. She goes, because she really is a little mini you. And she said that includes the temper. Mind you, I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger. Now, is there a class you're struggling with that Isaiah might sit really next to you?
No.
Your grades not where they should be. They might have dipped down just a little bit.
I don't know my grades.
Okay, because this I'm gonna say she's a grandmother or a great grandmother because she's like she needs to just focus,
Whatever
or
I do.
mom and dad might have to ask for your seats to be changed. You don't want to do that. One, it's embarrassing to have your mama change your seat, but you got to focus on those grades.
Who did I write down?
It-
That it was
and-
coming through.
Are you doing some sort of
Who was it?
volunteer work? Are you doing some volunteer work at school? Like, are you cleaning up a park or something?
No.
It
Did you
feels
go to-
like
Did you help clean the old school today? What was you doing at the school?
I'm just playing.
well, if you don't get paid for a job, that's called volunteering. It feels like you're going to be recognized by, I think it's the mayor. It's like it's all called a citation, but you didn't do anything wrong. Like my son thought it was like a ticket. It's not the same thing. It's like an award of recognition where they make a big deal out of it, and you're on local cable. I just want you to know that's coming up, and it may be in the next couple of months. I don't know what it feels like. You're cleaning up some sort of park, so I don't know if it's attached to the school or it's just a separate park entirely, but it's like cleaning up the garbage, planting some flowers and stuff.
Oh, he's
The-
so quiet.
This older woman's telling me fresh air is good for you. But she said you need to remember that when you do volunteer work, it's like earning good karma credits versus like you think it's some sort of punishment right now. So don't think of it as a punishment. Just think of it as anything I have in front of me to do work, I want to give 150%.
Okay. Say okay.
Okay.
Is she alive or is she still stuck in, oh my God, she said something about the boy at school?
I think she's still just kind of stuck.
It's okay. It happens to all of us. Even mediums, when somebody else reads us, we're like, no,
Yeah.
I don't have a redheaded aunt. And then my husband goes, you mean Auntie Helen? Poof. Happens to all of us.
Right. I've done reads on her, but I'm mama's, so she's like, "Oh, you're just mommy, you know."
I know. We get the same
This
thing.
is her first read, and she's just kind of like. And I knew exactly who the lady coming through was. I actually wrote it down on a piece of paper before you said it. When you said great grandma, it's actually her great grandma.
Okay. Sometimes I can't tell. It's either the wardrobe hasn't changed very much, but I know she was a family member, and it's definitely on the mom side.
Should be on the dad's side.
Did you just make something like a recipe or like a pot roast or something of hers? Some sort of recipe that you would have pulled out the recipe card and would have thought of her?
No. No, actually, I haven't been cooking lately because we've been remodeling. But
It feels like that this recipe card came out of the recipe box. Like there's something where everybody goes, oh, we haven't had that in a while. Like, oh, remember when she used to do this, this, and this? So there's like something that kept her in the presence. Okay, who has the elevated heart rate right now? Somebody's heart is racing. Is it nerves? Is it you? She's so cute. Is it?
Probably be her older sister. She had a massive panic attack today.
Okay.
Is your heart racing? Are you nervous or anything?
Can you feel your heart going boop, 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 boop? Then it might be the older sister because same woman. She wants to blow her kisses and just give her a hug. Now, what works today might not work tomorrow for the panic attack or the anxiety attack. Usually, if you try to slow yourself down, like take a deep breath in and then release it real slow, it should help. But also, if your mother makes you repeat numbers and they're out of order, then that would be the same thing because your body can't send all the energy to one. It sort of shuts it down and reboots.
Mhm.
And also
I'll have
ice
to
water.
actually try that one with her because, I mean, she's like on a bunch of different medicines and stuff for it, and it just.
Listen, and you can be in an open air stadium watching Jason Aldean and still have a panic attack.
I've seen him. He's hot.
Well, that wasn't the only thing that was hot there that day. It was hot. I was in an open air show, and my younger son was like, "Everybody stand back." They're like, "She has hair. It's an open air." My son's like, "She's having a panic attack. Don't get close."
Right?
Oh, they were just dumping water all over. I couldn't get myself back to center. That's how you know it's bad. But yeah, you can try any one of those things. Again, what works today might not work tomorrow and so forth. It's like anything else.
Build your ramp. Okay.
My bike.
She's gonna go build a bike ramp. She's out.
Ooh, nice. Have a good night. Tammy King, hello. Hi, Sue. Who else? Tammy King, Christina, my bestie. Sandy, Allison. Did I get everybody? Trisha. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry.
Ugh.
You know they have children's tarot cards, right?
My oldest daughter actually had a set of tarot cards.
No, I have the Doreen Virtue ones. I'm talking overnight. They went from $20 to like $200.
Oh wow.
I don't know what that's about. Some people said because she's not doing the spiritual anymore. I think it's her family members got too angry that she was putting their faces on like on the cards, but like in place of like say Mary, she put Aunt Judy in there. Like it was just really weird. She took a left turn. But they're saying that's what the justification for the price going up.
Ah.
Interesting to know.
I think your older one's going to be very interested in the tarot cards. She seems to have a lot stronger abilities right now.
She does, but she shut them off, and I think that's part of the mental stuff that she's going through right now. I've actually talked with her about that, about because I went through the same thing with my abilities, like the way I was raised. It was the devil's work, and we didn't talk about it. And I went through like years of counseling and medication and all of that. And once I got up on my own and I got with the ghost group and I started figuring it all out, I went off the medications and now I'm good. It was just fighting against my own self and it causes chaos.
Yeah, and it's not that we're doing devil work. In the Catholic
Oh, no.
Church, they actually have a patron saint. He's down by the XYZs. I tell you, but I can't pronounce it, so.
Yep, like,
Hey,
Hey,
Mama
Ma.
Joe.
hey, Joni.
Dwayne, is there another police officer in your family besides yourself? Maybe an auxiliary or volunteer policeman a while back?
Possibly.
Because I had that woman's coming forward and she's reminding me to tell you that don't forget it's in your blood.
That's pretty cool.
He
Some,
he protects you, Dwayne, like he follows you around when you're at work.
hmm.
Just
Is it a family member?
It's
Or
a family
like a
member.
spirit guide.
No, it's a family member in spirit, but I don't know, maybe an auxiliary, volunteer. So I don't think he had quite the full credit or the full definition of the job that Dwayne does, but he's still looking out for him because he has experience in this. Excuse me. Hi, Katie.
You'll see her popping in and out. She over there making faces at me.
Hey, Horn.
I'm gonna butcher this name, but somebody else is telling you hi. It's Horn Caddy.
I think it's
Katie?
I think it's Katie Horn, if I got
Katie
that right.
Horn.
I don't know. I don't know why it's coming in reverse, but at least that's what Spirit's saying to me. It's like, no, it's reverse.
Okay, that would make more sense. But
Tammy says, any messages coming through for me?
I've got a male family member telling me to be careful with your shenanigans. And he wants you to have your car checked. Feels like it's either the passenger side of the vehicle. I'm not sure if it's the front tire or the back tire because he's got me listening and I can't tell which one it is.
there we go. What about for Jackie? She's being awful quiet. She's
Yes,
always
sir.
quiet though. I'm trying to get her. To
It's
talk back
always
to
the
us, but-
quiet ones.
Right?
I know, because I'll be at an event or an investigation. I'm usually so quiet there because I'm more like sponging it all in.
Yep, that's me.
I got a mail coming in. It feels like more maybe an uncle though, not more of a grandfather. Where he wants. He's like, come on now, let your true personality out. We know you're a hellraiser. Don't keep it a secret anymore. And I'm like, I don't know if this is the time for that, buddy. Did you just get a bill for something that's really large for an appliance?
No?
Appliance could be like a wash machine, dryer, refrigerator, one of those kind of things. Dishwasher.
No.
Take note of it because I have a feeling it's coming up and you're also coming into some money. So he didn't want you to spend all the new money coming in because you're going to need it for this appliance.
Okay.
I've had 2 refrigerators die on a long weekend after I just did food shopping. So I'm always hesitant about doing too good of a food shopping trip just in case.
Right.
It feels like the ice cream's going to go first. Okay, I got it.
Right.
In the last 4 years, we went through a washer, a
Two
dryer,
washers,
a stove, 2 washers, a dryer, a stove,
a
a
refrigerator.
refrigerator.
You sound like my house.
All my appliances are somewhat new.
But did you just recently get them?
No. Year and a half ago.
Gotta remember, Spirit doesn't really like sit there and count the calendars. So he's talking about it just happened. So that could be it.
Okay.
But I still feel there's money coming in that he wants you to set aside in a portion of it, at least half to 3/4 of it, because there's going to be a high expense coming. I just don't know what.
Okay.
Allison Kelly asked. She said that she'd love a read if possible.
Okay, is there a specific area you want me to look into? Somebody just said it's finances and job. Hi, Colette. How are you?
She said, how do you get a reading?
Just ask nicely.
So
You laugh, but you'd be amazed how hard it is for people lately to be nice.
Oh,
It's
I
like
know.
we lost our common courtesy, and I'm like, some of us have been locked up due to the pandemic for a while. I would think you would have nothing but to be nice because you haven't had to interact with people.
doing the job that me and Dwayne do, doing
And
DoorDash and Jackie, we have too much interaction with people, and it is so hard to be nice when I have to deal with idiots.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I know that sounds bad, but
No, listen. I get it. For those of you that don't work with people on a daily basis, when we say we hate people, it's nothing personal. It's those people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yes, especially people that don't know how to drive. Oh my gosh,
Oh yeah.
that gets me more than anything.
And then my husband's like, you just drop your best friend off and you come home with an attitude. I'm like, this is from driving in traffic. This is why I drive in the middle of the night. There's nobody there.
See, I can't
Right.
see at night, or I would work at night, but I can't see at night, so I have to work during the daytime when all the idiots drive.
I do.
And I'm like,
But-
oh,
This is how I drive. This, my glasses on my head, and then my sunglasses. And then I'm like, Chris, I can't find my glasses. And she's like, I'm like, oh yeah, drop it down. Oh, that exit? Okay.
right.
That's all I need.
She said just a general read.
Okay. I'm
Oh,
gonna.
Tammy, I'll get to your question in just let me. I'm keeping a list here so I can keep them all straight.
Generate. Shenanigans. Shenanigans means having a good time, maybe getting a little loud, which would be normal here for Massachusetts, but. Allison, I'm gonna have to pull a card for you, honey. Because nobody wants to step forward. Okay, I see some money coming to you. It says abundance, things look very good. Have patience at this time, make long-term plans. And remember before I even pulled the cards, I said it was finances and work that they gave me?
Yeah.
They're just affirming it. So then the second card, they want you to listen to your intuitions and have patience. Consider carefully what you have before and what you want before you act. So this is just a reminder, like when the money comes in. Listen, we all love retail therapy, but your retail therapy better be in the clearance section with a coupon, is what they're telling me. And then you also have a new job coming, changes in your life now. And again, you saw me shuffle. They witnessed me shuffling for a few minutes, and it came out finances and job. Ends up being what it is. The career advancement, it's like a male manager has to do like your review or whatever, and he's going to promote you. I don't necessarily know if you had the promotion in your head, but it's definitely going to be there.
Colette
So
will
she
be
answered
next.
questions, so.
Huh?
And then Patricia. All right, so up next we have Colette. And then Allison said, "Oh, awesome, thank you."
You're so welcome. If I don't use my abilities for good, why do I have them?
Right?
Every day we need to wake up feeling blessed and try to make just one person happy or one person smile. If everybody just had that one little goal, we'd be a much better place by now. Who is next?
Colette.
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 I asked her if she had a specific.
Yeah, we're
question,
trying to
but-
see if she has a specific question.
Oh, I have a new word, mimific. It's just easier.
There we go.
I just want to see who I'm focusing in on, that's all.
Yeah. Tammy says you're amazing, Lisa.
I'm a mom. I own three new puppies that are just turned a year, and their siblings. Never do that again. But I love them.
Oh no.
And I have cats, and this is pretty much this and Yarn, as my bestie can vouch, because she was just at my house.
Our dog just had 9 puppies.
What kind of puppies, Dwayne?
It's a pug and terrier.
Ooh.
Yorkie.
Yorkie.
Because mine were supposed to be Chorkies, And what they actually are is Chihuahua and Norwich Terrier, like the Toto dog.
Yeah.
But each out of the three, they each look entirely different. There's no way that I would say that they were they can't be siblings. But I just gave the two longer haired ones a haircut. They all have these little white, creamy wings on their shoulders in the same spot.
Cool.
That we wouldn't have noticed if we'd gone to the groomer because they don't clip them that short. But
Yeah.
and listen. I always wanted a Toto. I'm a big fan of the Wizard of Oz. I'm an expert, but I never thought I'd own a Toto. Nor did I think I would ever own a dog that weighs in a total of 4 pounds and will never get any bigger.
Right.
We call ours Porkies.
And actually, my best friend Jackie, she took
She took 3 of
she
them.
got the daddy and
And
3
the
of the
daddy.
puppies, and we have 2 left that we're gonna keep. And I'm telling you, I agree with you on the whole sibling thing.
Oh,
Never-
that's
They
sibling.
called. The other one is a little hellion that's into everything.
That's
And then they
Winston.
would play at midnight, and they go all through the house from one end
Yeah.
to the other.
I
And I'm
agree.
like,
Hi, Robin. Hi, Elaine.
Now
All
Winston's a butthead, but he's my butthead. I love him, but I don't like his choices on a daily basis. I sort of have to look at him and go, really? Didn't we just discuss this?
right?
Right.
That's the way that our little butthead dog is, except it's Katie's dog, and she's very attached to him and has him very, very spoiled. So when she's not here, he's a little turd. And I'm like, oh my God.
Because you didn't ask him how many ice cubes he wanted in his water?
Yeah, pretty much.
I have some of those here in my house.
Like, I set my lighter, I was outside smoking the other day, and I set my lighter down on the porch next to me, and he walks up, takes my lighter, runs out in the yard, so I holler at him, and I get my lighter from him, and then for the rest of the day, he wouldn't look at me because I yelled at him.
Winston got a hold of a package of cigarettes. Okay, because I left them out on a table, on a kitchen table. What was I thinking, right? And I thought maybe my bestie was a little nervous because it looked like somebody had picked the paper off the edges, kind of like when you peel the beer label off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of filters, and I'm like, wow, she must really be stressed or something. And then I went back upstairs, and I came down. Now there's a couple more cigarettes out. I'm like, I didn't hear her get up. And I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, I think one of your puppies. And I'm like, it was on the table. It's Winston. I love him because I really love him.
Right.
Colette
All right,
is
so-
wanting a future read, it looks like.
Yeah, she said, would you like to know, or she would like to know what you see for her future.
Okay, this is Colette, right?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. I'm pulling the Unity card. So it's traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations seeking out others like-minded friends. It feels like you're really getting into the paranormal. Like if you already were, like you're going a lot deeper. Like I see you joining a paranormal group, which by the way, it's a fabulous idea to do because everybody brings something to the table when you go on an investigation. It feels like you're going to be the fact checker, the one that's going to do the background to verify the history of the location. The second card was completing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. It just feels like that maybe the people your regular friends aren't really into the paranormal as much as you are. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you've got good taste is what it means. Because in order for anybody to move forward, we have to know about our past or the past location. And you'll discover, like most of us have, when you go to a location where you've heard so many things about, and you go in there going, oh my God, it's going to be like this. Oh my God, it's going to be scary. You get in there and you're like, wait, none of that happened? And you're like, oh, I have a different tune now. And then you find out what really happened. You're like, oh my God, that was so gross. Like, what were they thinking back then?
Mm-hmm.
And then the third card is spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, and self-discovery. You need to learn how to ground, protect yourself with healing light, and meditate. And in that order. Only in that order. You only forget to do that once. After you forget to do that once, you'll be calling me at 3 a.m. saying, oh my God, I got this crazy S storm coming at me, and what do I do? So it's always ground, protect, and meditate, and in that order. But definitely let me know what group this is, because if you're in my area or I happen to be in that area, I'm happy to meet up and say hello to everybody. And I'll go on investigations. I have before with other groups.
That'd be awesome.
I'm afraid of the dark and what might be there. It's not the dark that scares me. It's nice people. Like normal people are scary.
They're
like-
that says normal people scare me.
You talk to dead people and that doesn't bother you. I'm like, I at least know about them. I don't know. You're too happy, and I don't understand how you can be that happy all the time.
Right.
Okay. Who is next? I don't see who is next.
Hold on, let me see. I think it was Patricia.
Okay, Patricia Lanigan. No picture. Okay, so I can't focus it.
I was just wondering because his family did. I haven't heard anything about it.
Sherika was.
I'm getting the name Peter. Does that mean anything to you, Patricia? It's coming from Spirit Peter.
Alright, well, I'm doing a podcast, so I'm gonna get off of here. Yeah, it was Patricia next. She hasn't said anything about a specific, and then Sue.
Sue, and then we got.
Yeah,
Sandy.
I just got the name Peter that came through. I don't know who that is. That's why I was asking. Okay, so the first card for Patricia is review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move in a new direction. This is just saying like what you've been doing hasn't been working, and if you always do the same thing all the time, you're only going to get the same reaction all the time. So if you want change, you've got to change it for yourself. So think outside the box, and you'll get a different turnout. I think that's going to be working for you a lot better than what you've been doing right now, Patricia. The second card is a reminder not to give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. So somebody's throwing some self-doubt at you. Listen, a lot of people project what's negative in their life. They want to project it on you and you and you, because then it doesn't let anybody know like, oh, that I'm the one that's really messed up. If you really know psychology, then you'll know that projecting is a cry for help, but at the same time, it sort of just puts the halo over them going, we know you did something wrong. So just distance yourself from that negative person that's putting the self-doubt in your way. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. I feel like this public recognition is going to be more of a team effort. So it's going to be you and somebody else. They're telling me that it's like a civic acknowledgement. And then you'll be working with the police. Good luck on your endeavors, because that sounds like it's going to be a very juicy situation that you're going to be in.
Sounds like fun. I'd love to do something working with the police.
Yeah, but let me just say it's not all it's cracked up to be. I worked a cold case file probably about like a couple of weeks before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Serial killer, and gave them all the information that they needed, and then it was like the week of Christmas that I got the call back, because normally I don't hear. And they wanted me to go over the same location again because they couldn't find all of them. And my son's like, why do you take these cases before Christmas? Because every parent needs to know.
Right.
We just need to know. We don't sleep. So for all you youngsters that are watching, if you're not home on time, this is what happens, okay? We create every scenario in our head, and then we create the scenario of which we're going to torture them when we find them.
Yeah.
Okay? And then even though you're safe, sound, and there's not a hair missing over your head, as my son's like, can you just go in your room? Because I'm like, you okay? You sure you're okay? You feel all right? Like you look all right? And he's like, oh my God. He's like, I won't be late again. I got you.
Yep.
So it's great to help out, but at the same time, you got to remember, if you have abilities and you stumble upon a case or a missing person, do not show up at that location on your own. because you become the number one suspect, and then they're not going to find the person that really did it. So you should probably help with like a missing person like chat room or whatever, and try to help that way first. Or unless you have a friend that's in the police department, I would not be showing up at those locations. I have friends that are in the police, and I don't show up at those locations unless I'm asked to.
Joni, how would I get it to you?
I guess we'll just have to make a trip to meet her.
Yeah, we got one that we can give away, but I have to drive like, I don't even know, Toronto's probably 12 hours from us.
I'm down.
Or something. I mean, I'm game to go to Canada.
Wait. I'll drive it.
we're not-
I'll
we're
drive the puppy. I'll drive the
No.
puppy. I'll drive the puppy.
There you go.
Joni and I have been friends for years, but we've never physically met in person.
We haven't met her yet either.
Oh, she's totally amazing. Love that woman.
I love
I
She's
just
her.
love-
awesome.
I won't go out of the United States, so I'm not going to Canada. So
Did Joni tell you the special thing that her and I can do? That no other medium so far we can figure out can do it. They matched us up with many other mediums for their shows,
Okay.
and they couldn't do what we can do. So it's like Joni and I are sitting side by side on the couch watching the same movie. So if I said, I'm getting a green table, she'll say, oh no, it's evergreen. And I'm like, nah, it's more recreational green. And they're like, how did you do that? We're like, what? Because it's like we're both side by side looking at the same thing at the same time.
Mhm.
There's only one other person I can do that with, and that's Rob Hernandez. And I didn't even, he thought I did it. So he's like, so describe the area that you're remote viewing right now. I'm like, all right, so there's sulfur, there's blood. And then he's like, what about the guy next to you? I'm like, and I see sneakers. Well, there's no sneakers in Gettysburg. Come on now. Like, I'm good at that much. I was like, whoa. And he's like, how did you do that? I'm like, oh, you think I did it? No, I don't even know how it works. I don't even think to this day Joni know how, and I realize how that happened. But out of many mediums that we've worked with, she's the only one that I can do it with other than Rob.
nice.
It's creepy sometimes too. Brooke, I would never drive another puppy back to my house. Like, I think Free sort of did me in. I made the mistake of saying to the universe, I want free puppies. I got 3. I wasn't
Been there, done
expecting 3. Listen, I put it out in the universe. I like free yarn, okay?
There you go. Put that out there.
Free yarn.
So Patricia did comment, and she said that she is developing her abilities now, and thank you.
Brooke, I have 4 dogs, 3 cats. 2 of those cats are Maine Coon cats. So it's like having a dog.
Oh, Maine Coons are so pretty.
And they're very protective.
I want I forgot what they're, Bengal cat. Not
You
like the.
You don't
What?
want a Bengal tech. No. Listen, if you're going to have that as your watchdog / cat, that works great. But they have city ordinances. Because those people in New York, remember, they had like a tiger as a pet in like a building complex. I'm like, what? Nobody saw you sneaking that thing in?
Right.
You heard a giant roar next door, and you thought it was like a happy couple. Like, come on now,
I
like,
remember that.
roar. I'm like, I'd be like, I love
You're
you, but
awesome,
I'm turning you in. Exactly, Joni. Joni would like yarn and a puppy, and I'll deliver it. Because the only part of Canada I saw was Niagara Falls. That was it.
I've never got to cross. I've never been to Canada.
All right, so let me tell you how this plays out, Dwayne. On your honeymoon, when every time you cross back and forth, they go, do you have anything to declare? And my husband's like, she bat crap crazy right now. Like, she thinks the water tastes funny. I found that there's a difference in the water. And some of the locations we were at were just a little weird. Do not get tipsy on the Canadian side, because when you have to cross that border again, they grill you.
Yeah, and Sandy, Miss Sandy, she's actually the leader of DPS Canada. Yes, we do have a Canadian group, but we've never been to Canada. But
I see a field trip in our future, Dwayne.
I'm down.
We need to rent one of those like concert buses and just put everybody on there, and we'll just make stops. I think I'm gonna call that, but gonna be like my back road barbecue and beer tour.
There we go.
All right, so
Who is next?
next on the list is going to be Sue, I think. Have we done Sue yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think we did either. Any advice in the area of life?
Tie your shoes. No, just kidding. Let's see what I got. Okay, I have contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, successful completion of a project. For me, it sort of feels like you're doing something in the yard, like a new deck or maybe like a new roof on the shed or something. There's something that's being done outside. And they want me to remind you that you have to put something underground a few feet so that things don't dig at it and end up in your shed or this area. Don't eat the yellow snow. That's good advice. I tell my puppies that all the time. They look at me like, why? Because that's nasty. Second card I have for you is victory, good news, and it's on its way. Public recognition or awards. Again, this feels like it's a group effort and that it's some sort of green space. The third card is the Queen of Water. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. You don't trust your gut yet. Do you have the start of abilities? Because I sort of feel like you're an empath. Like you feel things. It's like going into a room and knowing that other people have argued when nobody's saying anything when you walk in. You haven't had your full awakening yet, but it's coming. And I'd like to be able to tell you when, but it's kind of like time of death and stuff. They don't let us know. And it's not my journey, so I can't really say, oh, it's going to happen like September 3rd. Because you'll be waiting around for September 30. You're not living your life. Do you do something with animals? Like an animal intuitive or animal readings?
Wait on her to come in. I hate how the chat lags.
Yeah, you gotta love all the live streams. They always lag. Like, it don't matter how fast your internet is, they're always behind.
They used to do these like online shopping shows, like you could do on Facebook Live, like maybe like little boutique shops, and you'd have to bid on them. It didn't do me any good because mine, I always got the last one in, even though I typed it in earlier, because of the lag.
Right.
I thought that the angels would maybe pull my purse strings a little tight.
Yeah, Sue said no, and will she walk again?
Has there been a hiccup in your recovery, like you didn't follow the rules, but you didn't exactly tell them you didn't follow the rules? I don't know if you'll be walking unassisted again, but in some form of walking you will be. But you have to follow exactly what they said. So if they said stand on your head, stand on your head. Don't ask why, just do it. Stand on your head.
I love that accent. I'm sorry. I've tried not to say anything about
What?
it, but I love your accent.
It's that Massachusetts.
Love it.
Massachusetts accent.
Massachusetts were called massholes. Somebody thought it'd be funny to insult us, and we go, massholes? Hey, we like that. We could rock that.
One of my good friends is from Boston, and
so
he has the same
It's
accent.
lobster chowder. Then we do park your car and have it yet. Believe me, not everybody speaks that way. Some do, some don't. If you go to Southie, it's a different accent. If you go to Dorchester, it's a different accent. If you go to the Cape, it's a different accent. My son goes out of his way to not use the R's just because he loves the way it sounds. So he's like, Ma! Ma! And I'm like, I love you, Cammie, but it's your mama I'm talking to. That little R gets so ignored in our state. It's so sad.
Aww. All right, so Sue said she has 8 cats inside and feeds outside and that she never follows the rules.
Oh, I didn't say it was a bad idea never to follow rules. You said cats inside and outside. Are you doing like a cat shelter or something like almost like a catio, but not quite, but maybe a 4-season type catio for them? Because that's what I see, and they want me to remind you to put a metal thing in the ground so deep so that no, like coyotes and stuff can't dig in and get in that area. I also read pets, you know. So I read pets, any kind of animal. I read people, dead or alive, and I read pictures. I just need a clear view of their eyes. I do candle readings. I do cleansings. I crochet a lot. So if you see me, you'll know I'm there because you'll see the yarn first.
That sounds like my mom.
Sue,
Oh no! I wish it was joking. I wish it was joking.
Sue,
I use it as
think-
meditation.
There you go.
So I didn't mean to cut you off, Sue. I think
okay.
we have. Let's see. We have 5 cats.
Hold on, I gotta count them. We lost one last night.
They're like tater chips. You can't have just one.
We got 5 cats. We got
1, 2,
how many puppies
3,
did Atara have, Jesse?
4,
How many we got left? 7,
4,
8,
7, 8, 9, 10,
11 dogs.
11 dogs and 5 cats. 2
Okay.
hamsters, a bunny, and 2 turtles.
Did you ever see those signs like that says like I love cupcakes or whatever? There's something written. There's one that says whoever said money can't buy you happiness never paid an adoption fee.
Oh, that's very true.
Okay.
Needless to say, we bought that.
That they need to make you know how they have like how we have insurance.
I'll
They
text
need to
it
make
you.
like
Dude.
big pet insurance.
They have pet insurance. The problem is that it's not carried everywhere. So even if you buy it, it may not even work in your own state. And true facts, because they should have it just like we have health insurance. So if our kid breaks their ankle, or whatever, we bring them to the hospital. We should be able to do the same thing with our pets.
Yes.
And if you're adopting a pet, you shouldn't have to pay any bills because you just did the big sacrifice. Like, I will sacrifice taking 3 puppies. Yep. She was a pound. The other one was 3 pounds, and the largest one was like about 5 pounds at the time. So now that's 4, 10, and I think roughly 8 because the other one keeps very. Yeah, that's a lot of love. It's so hard sharing a king size bed with them. I'm all over with fur, and he's like, "It's cold in here." I'm like, "Don't you dare turn that heat up." Mm-mm.
Lauren's not on here with us tonight, but I think she has 4 big dogs.
Ooh, what kind of dogs?
Hers are
She has a
husky,
German Shepherd,
Nice.
she has a husky, a German
dope.
Shepherd,
Yeah.
a boxer, and a pit.
Yeah.
Aw. So let me know when Joni needs her puppy delivered. I'll grab my
All right.
bestie. We'll make a road trip. We'll stop off and take donations of yarn, and do a couple of readings, and then bring it across the border.
You can take
There
her
we
one
go.
of these 2 kittens we got while you're at it.
What kind of kitties? What kind of? I want to see the
Calico.
kitties.
calico.
Yeah, they're both calicos.
They're Siamese calico mix.
Yeah, they're Simon. Yeah.
What are the chances you could bring one on the video?
She said, "Hold on, I got you."
Not that I'm looking for another pet, so if my husband's watching, go to bed. Yesterday, my puppies. Oh!
Yeah.
I want the one that looks like a s'more. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Ooh, we have one like that. Her name's Sierra, but she's like more like a desert.
That's because
Oh
of that
my-
background.
Oh
We
my
need to get a
god,
green
so
screen.
cute. Okay, Johnny said no cats, just doggies. Comprende.
Johnny said no cats,
No
just
gatos,
dogs.
just perros. Gotcha.
Johnny said no cats,
How
just
many puppies am I transporting for you, Joni? Let me know.
Actually, my brother's dog, 7 of the puppies we have are bullies. bully mix. Because she'd have 12 of them, and we have 7 left.
What's the other dog, Jesse?
But
Oh, Bully and Blue
yeah,
Heeler
they're
mix.
bully and blue heeler.
Ooh. Blue heeler, is that a hound, like a hunting hound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Joni wants them all, so I'm going to need to pick somebody up besides my bestie because it's going to take a little time to do pit stops with that many.
Oh. Alrighty, so on down the list here, Sandy said just a general read.
Cindy, right?
Sandy.
Sandy.
Yeah.
Miss Sandy Hickey. She's actually our DPS Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, if we go to Canada, we have to visit Joni and Sandy.
You going to Canada?
Come
I'll be staying in
on.
America.
Canada can be fun. At least I hope so.
Okay, y'all come over to Detroit, Sandy, because I know it's right over the bridge from you, and we'll come visit you there.
There we go.
Hey, we can stop off at the Great Lakes and get some agates and some pretty rocks. We'll bring those to Joni because she can do them up all pretty.
But
Okay,
I'm not
so-
meeting you on 8 Mile, just so you know.
What's 8 Mile?
No, if I go to Detroit, I'm going to 8 Mile.
Okay,
That's
what?
Where,
It's a
that's where
road.
the rapper Eminem grew up, and he's from.
Oh, is that in Michigan?
Yeah. That's
Oh,
in
I didn't know
Detroit. Yeah.
Okay, Sandy, so the first card I have for you is contentment, peace, and abundance. A happy home life, successful completion of a project. This is definitely for those cats. And I believe there's money out there where you take care of the cats. I don't know how much it is they give you, but it feels like if you're doing something, like you say, if you're going to help the cat population in your neighborhood, there's some sort of money that they give you, like a stipends that you can use towards building a shelter, buying food, or whatnot. It's more like $350, so I don't know if that will stretch it, but it's everything helps, right? The next card is things not turning out the way you have hoped, not seeing the positive in a situation, crying over spilt milk. A lot of times we don't know the situation we're walking into anyway, so we just need to really be open-minded. If you have yourself set that you can't leave a little wiggle room for if it goes south or not, it makes it very stressful. So you just need to keep an open mind because look, nothing ever goes perfect for everybody. Sometimes the half the fun is where where the mistake happened. Third card is spend time in a quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. This just means like you could probably, once this little project's done, you could totally do like a meditation thing. Like people go to like play groups for their kids. Why can't we have an adult like cat play group where you can come in and just sit with the cats or sit with the dogs? I'd go.
We actually have cafes like about 45 minutes from where we live. They're called cat cafes, and they serve like tea and coffee and like
Serious?
they
And
have
the-
like cat trees and like
The
all
cats-
along-
The cats move about the place?
Yeah, they have like cat trees everywhere, and they have like runners up around the ceiling.
And they serve liquor, I think.
No.
No,
So-
one of them does.
So if they do it for
One
dogs,
more.
does that mean it's the doghouse? Because that would be the one situation where you go, yeah, I want to go to the doghouse. Please let me go to the doghouse.
Yeah, I don't know about dogs, but
At this
we
shelter,
have some.
at one of the shelters in Indiana, where I graduated at, they have a room, and it's just for the cats, and it has like cat trees, and it has cat walks up by the ceiling that go
That's the
up
way the
off
cat
the
cafes
floor
are.
and everything. It's just like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, they say anybody that doesn't like pets or animals usually is a serial killer.
That's
They
I
usually
could see
start
that.
out killing them.
Right. Well, they start with those, then they do babies and children that they'll harm, and then they move to the elderly. But let me just say, you don't want none of this. Because if I find out you hurt anybody, like a baby or an animal, you ain't gonna want to see this.
right. I'm the same way.
The conversation
I
turns
have
from
that
it's
dog.
over. And what kind do you have?
I have a Shih Tzu, Yorkie Terrier mix, Min Pin, a Rot.
Is the Min Pin sort of the leader of the pack?
No, that would be Sarah's dog.
Because
What
somebody
is-
somebody has a Napoleon complex, is what I just heard.
That would be Sarah's dog.
Okay.
He's tiny
Scooby?
too.
Oh, is he?
Scooby is he's like,
Love the name Scooby.
I think Scooby and Rocky are our dog Rocky are a lot alike. They're terrible.
Yeah.
And then on that read, Sandy said
Excuse me.
she does that every day. Now that sounded point on. And thank you.
And my Rot is the biggest baby ever.
Because they think they're tiny.
They do.
All the every big dog that I've ever met thinks they're like a pocket pet, and then my pocket pet Rita thinks she's a Great Dane, and she'll walk in there like, no, you'll do what I say, and it's like, and then
That's
she
the way-
she stomps her little feet. It's small. Her one paw is smaller than a baby kitten's paw, and she stomps her feet like, and then she throw hands. It's like if you she's like, don't you throw hands at your mama. 4 pounds of hate.
Yep, that's how it is at our house. My brother's bully. She thinks she's a lap puppy. Like, she will literally try to sit in your lap, and she's like half the size of me.
You guys are going to have me on again, and we'll do all animals.
that'd
We'll
be
do
amazing.
all animal reads. Even if it's just a private group, that's fine. Like, let me know. Although I think it would work better if I picked up the puppies and play with them before I bring them to Joni. Just saying.
All right, so the next on the list would be Pat, and she said just pull a card, what's going on around her.
Okay. You feel very stressed, Pat. Like it feels like there's a lot of stress in your life happening right now. Like I'm feeling it. Somebody in spirit's recommending yoga. Like goat yoga. Listen, I've never been to a yoga class, so I can't say one way or the other, but goat yoga, I'd probably end up playing with the goats, and I don't even think I'd try the yoga. Because they're so cute.
I want one of the fainting goats.
Oh my God, right? Like, and then I wonder, like, what happens if you don't know whether or not it's a fainting goat, and then your goat faints, like... Like, is it going to be CPR, or is it going to be like, hey, buddy, joke's over, get up?
Linda, I can do all of those except the snakes. I can
Hey,
do the
Linda.
snakes.
Listen,
I didn't
snakes,
see her earlier.
snakes can be scary, but they're very serious. Like, their personalities tend to be really serious. But I get it, because in the wild, anybody could just chop them up. So I'd want to make myself look mean too. But
We
some
killed.
of them, yeah.
We killed
I don't think snake.
like last fall. We killed like a 6-foot rattlesnake
In my driveway.
in our driveway.
Okay, once it sets foot on your property, then the game's over. Like I say to my husband,
No, we
like,
already-
if it crosses
We
the
had
barrier and comes in my house, it's gonna go to God really fast.
We had
We've
another
got
snake
4
that
this
was
year
in our
so far.
front storage building,
In my
curled up
electric
in the
box.
breaker box.
Are you
They
serious?
went to get
Yeah.
a breaker because we blew a
If
breaker,
you guys
and then
want
we
to eat, go
out
ahead.
there, and then they had to kill the snake.
I can't really eat until they're done.
Is there like, well, you know how they have mouse traps? Is there such a thing as a snake trap or something to deter them? Like, can't you put mothballs out or something?
I think so.
We live on like out in
But-
the middle of the country.
we live, like, on 40
40
acres.
So
Oh yeah, no, I have woods behind me, but I don't know how many acres it is.
But
We got bobcats, black bears, moose, deer,
We don't got
We don't have
moose.
mountain
We have deer.
lions,
Mountain lions.
coyotes,
Yeah.
wolves.
yeah.
Like
No
we,
wolves.
the only thing we don't have, we
No
don't have no
wolves.
skunks. I ain't never
We
seen a
have-
raccoon up
We
here.
have raccoons,
raccoons,
skunks, armadillos, possums.
We have the peeps in the back. We've seen 2 snakes. The first one when we moved in, but then the second snake wasn't him. And then a neighbor said that the neighbor next door had a rattler. Because I was outside barefoot. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Getting the mail." Like, I don't know. She's like, oh, no, there was rattlers. I'm like, are you sure it was a rattler? She goes, I was holding my grandbaby. I had socks on. And she goes, and I just missed him.
Yeah,
I
we
was
have
like,
them in our yard. They're all
Yeah,
over.
you talk about snakes. We got copperheads, water
Rattlesnakes.
moccasins.
Jesus, you don't.
rattlesnakes.
If you're gonna go an inch, take a mile. But damn, that's like going right into the Grand Canyon. You go for the big ones first, huh?
Yup, and we
Yeah.
have hogs.
Yeah,
wild
I don't
do
hogs,
snakes.
Yeah, we have wild boar, and they will kill somebody or any animals, anything quick.
especially when they have babies.
Wait, where the wild boar
Yeah,
coming
hogs.
from? That's like a wild naturally wild pig, right?
Yeah,
Kinda
Yeah,
same
like,
thing?
we have
it is.
open hunting season for wild hogs here. That's how bad
That's
Year-round.
crazy. What did it happen? Somebody let their pig out and couldn't find it?
Just they overtake this area because we live way out in the middle of nowhere, so there's not a lot of population. We have a Washita National Forest
Like
around
these-
us.
These hogs are literally, some of them are as big as a German Shepherd dog. No, not
Holy
exaggerating.
shnikes.
Not exaggerating at all.
That's what I said.
All right, so we got
Wow.
Pat's Reed out of the way. Now we got Jean. I'm not sure. I don't think, unless I missed a comment somewhere, I don't think she said what she wants.
Okay,
So-
Pat wanted me to pull a card for her, and I
Oh.
got a celebration,
Sorry.
a wedding, a graduation, or a birth announcement. It's coming in the mail, but I don't know if that invitation that's coming is going to be a welcomed event by you. Like, I'm getting some angst here. Listen, I know I avoid them. That's because you have to get dressed and wear shoes and pantyhose. It's a whole thing. I'd rather just go to something that's casual, like barbecue, jeans, and a t-shirt. But your angst with this is you're not happy about either who they're marrying or what the situation is. So just listen, it's an invitation. You just decline because you got to shampoo your goat. That's all.
I'm washing my hair that night.
Yeah, I'm washing my goat's hair that night. But he keeps passing out, so I can't go. I have to wait till he wakes up.
There we go. Perfect excuse.
What are they gonna do? Challenge it?
Like, this
Okay.
is just off topic for just a brief second. You're talking about raccoons. I've actually had them on my front porch,
Oh my
and
God,
they
y'all.
were fighting with my dog,
Look, y'all.
and they were
Y'all gotta
barking.
understand.
Raccoons bark
Okay.
like dogs.
Listen, I'm watching the Bruins game, which, in case you didn't know, the Bears, their mascot. We're watching a playoff game. We have pictures from the night vision camera of the big bear watching us watch the Bears play. We had the sliding glass door, like the shade pulled over, so technically we should have seen it. We didn't. So I'm thinking, we're going to need to keep that deck gate closed. As if that's going to stop a big bear. And they're always in the news. And then the last one that was seen, my son says, of course, we moved to Fitchburg, and now that shows up, it was the neighbor's yard. And I'm like, I hope that wasn't the one that came through the other night. Because we got a
Wow.
lot of them here. Like, a lot.
We don't have a lot of them, but like I said, we live around the Washita National Forest, and they come down off the mountain.
But you
A couple of them, but
do you get a lot of bobcats? Because we got
Yeah.
bobcats and mountain lions, and even the state was like, "Oh, there's no such thing." And my husband was like, "Well, my wife got a really good picture of it in our backyard."
yep.
And I joked with the mailman, like, if you don't have receipts, and he's like, "Oh no, I have receipts." And it's like a picture of like 6 or 8 mountain lions crossing the crossroad down here. And I was like, "Oh, where's that?" Like probably miles away. He goes, "At 3 houses away on the corner." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going in now." So nobody hangs out after 3 p.m. around here.
Yeah,
Because of them.
Just the other day, it was actually on the news in Fort Smith, which
Which
is
is our big
actually
city.
our big city around here. And they had a black bear come up to their back door, and they got it on their doorbell camera. And it was sniffed the door, turned around, and walked off back in the woods.
Yeah, that's the reason why that I have the doorbell camera, because you know that question where they go, "Did a bear poop in the woods?" The bear pooped all over my lawn and just missed my son's car. And And my husband goes, it was probably a dog. I go, then the dog has to be dead by now. Because that's
Right.
bad. And he came home, he's like, oh, that's not a dog. Duh. The thing was, we'd just gone to check the mail. Because unfortunately, they don't put it in your door here like they used to do in the city. So you have to go to your mailbox. And we didn't see nothing. So in a matter of like 10 minutes difference, that bear came. We didn't see him, but we saw his remnants.
Ugh.
They don't care. They don't just poop in the woods in case anybody wanted to know.
Right.
Okay, who is next?
So
Pat
Jean was
Jean.
next, and Jean said she doesn't have a specific question, just a general read, I guess.
So the first card said there's great inner strength, release harsh judgments, forgiveness and compassion. But it feels like there's a family discrepancy that just keeps getting blown out of proportion. Maybe it's time to sit down and think about how this rift all started. Or not. It's up to you. Free will reigns everything. The second card is things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, and taking a trip. Now, I see this trip, and no, it's not to Canada to see Joni, but you could. It feels like it's going to be like a vacation, a family vacation, but just remember, like, sometimes it's good to live far from your family. So if you're going to do a family vacation, I probably wouldn't stay in the same hotel, the same house, unless you're on separate floors. It just feels like that discrepancy is going to come up again. And it's usually when two particular people start drinking. Third card is objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing the humor in the situation. It's basically don't feed the trolls. If they're not feeding you, paying you, or loving you, then you don't have to take their opinion. And sometimes they offer their opinion even when you don't want their opinion. Or when you say, no, I don't want your opinion, they go, no, but you're going to hear this. No, you don't have to hear that. You just get up and walk away. It just feels like you have to get rid of the toxic people around you. And sometimes the most toxic people are our family.
Nope.
Oh, I got plenty of those. I could do a whole episode on toxic people in my
Yeah.
family.
How to tell if your family's trying to kill you. I think that should be the next one.
Oh,
Because I have a list.
me and
Yeah,
Lauren,
so
the
do I.
other girl in our group that's not on here, we have this joke that we're gonna write a sitcom of Dwayne's family, and it's gonna be
Oh.
like one of those reality TV shows.
Dwayne, are you sure we're not related? Because mine should be
Maybe.
bowling partners with like Archie Bunker. They make Archie Bunker look cute.
Oh yeah, mine should be featured on like what's that show? Breaking Bad.
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
all about like they got like meth labs
It's
and
about
Oh!
it's about a
drug
scientist.
dealers and
No.
So what you're trying to say is it's about my family. I gotcha. It's okay. Maybe that's why I haven't seen it.
It's actually a really good series.
it
though.
is a good series.
It's about a chemist that gets cancer and he's trying to make a bunch of money for his family before he passes
So
away.
he starts
And
cooking
so
drugs.
he takes his chemistry and starts cooking meth and becomes a meth dealer.
In realistic terms, he might make more money just opening up a gas station lately because that's like being highway robbery.
I'm telling you, those gas pumps.
But-
They
Yeah,
upped the price in 24 hours. I got gas. I
Ours
came back to
actually
get
went
more
down.
gas, and I was like, wait, what? You went up 20 cents? What the hell
Ours
happened in the last
actually-
8 hours?
A couple
Ours
days
done
ago,
that,
ours done that.
Like 3 days in a row, ours done that. And it actually went down 10 cents this morning, so I was so thankful.
It is absolutely ridiculous that our prices are going up, and yet it really has nothing to do with the war. It has to do with people being greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's
They're
all it
actually-
ever's about.
They're actually trying to pass a bill right now that I don't think it's going to get passed. They don't have a whole lot of support, but they're actually trying to pass a bill to where the oil companies get investigated for price gouging.
Oh, they ain't the only ones. I can give you a list of places that I'm like, what? They went up on yarn. So yarn used to be that great activity, that little craft thing that you could do and it didn't cost much money. They've gone up over $2 to $3 a skein.
Mm-hmm.
Eggs are like, I used to get
$14.
5 dozen, the 5 dozen box for like 4 or 5, or no, it was like 7 or 8
It
bucks.
was like 4 or 5
Yeah.
originally.
And
before
now it's
everything started.
$15 for 5 dozen.
Chris and
eggs.
I really should have stopped at that farm stand that said fresh eggs, because there's nothing better than a fresh egg. I'd rather spend a little bit more money to get a fresh egg than to buy whatever eggs are in the supermarket, because sometimes I know they have the expiration date on, but you're like, there ain't no way these things were good for another 3 weeks.
Right.
And that's real money.
I'd be bankrupt.
Yeah,
What
Brooke,
is-
our gas prices here in Arkansas, I think I paid $3.87
Jesus.
a gallon.
Ours is up to $4.69, I think today, or $4.60, something like
Yeah.
that. But like last week, it was like $4.40. It's like, where are you guys going with this?
2 days
Nothing's
ago,
changed.
2 days ago, our gas was like $3.97. It finally went down 10 cents, but that.
All right,
that's
everybody drive to Michigan and get your gas.
All right. So up next we got Jody, and I don't think she specified what kind of a read either. 475 a gallon, 208 a liter. Oh, I
don't even ask. I don't even look anymore, because I'd have chest pains at the gas pump. Like, do they give it to you free if you have a heart attack? Because like I was like, wait, what? How much? Oh my God! I checked for holes underneath my gas tank. I'm like, I don't know where it's all going, but.
Right.
First card is about intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions in good health. Every relationship has an ebb and a flow. So I don't want, when it's like, in an ebb, I don't want you to freak out. We all go like through the whole, this is what marriage is. That's what it is. That's all it is. Same thing with friendships. That's what it is. This to me feels like somebody wasn't very forthcoming. And if you're forthcoming, then I guess it's like better to ask forgiveness than permission. Did a guy come up with that? Because that's just dumb. That's just dumb. Better to say something now before you say something after I put my foot up your fanny. That's my theory. Like say it now. Don't wait on it. Second card is a relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. Listen, maybe after a couple of shots of tequila, he'll be a little bit more forthcoming, but I would, if he said it's sunny out, I'd carry the umbrella just in case. The third card is a challenging information, delays or changes to plans. Truth delivered without tact. It means no buffer. It was probably me. Sorry. I get it. I give it. If I don't get anything, I tell you, I just don't get anything tonight. But if I get something, I let you know just how they've given it to me.
Nope, don't come from us. It comes from the spirits.
Yep. Don't shoot the messenger. You can tip me though. I'm here. I'm here all week, 24/7, 365, with my puppies. Does anybody else hear that spirit in the audio?
Maybe on Jackie's end. I know she has other people. They may have the TV on or something.
No, this is a spirit.
They're always tuning into our podcast too.
Oh yeah.
They should. Just make sure you turn into my podcast when I go live.
Nope. All right, so that one was for Jody. Linda said, "I like this lady. She's nothing like the people I met in Mass."
Oh, I'm subtle. I'm a total wallflower. You'll totally see me coming. Usually it's the purple hair, but Cindy hasn't done it yet, so I got to drive down to see her. Because it twists me to go to the beach. Okay, you're going to do my hair? Okay, I'll be at the beach. That's where I'm going. Lisa, I applied for a career change. Do you see me changing jobs? Sure, let me see. Show me yes. Show me no. Show me maybe. Okay, will Tammy be changing jobs? That's a definite yes, Tammy. You'll be changing jobs. I see the change happening in about 3 to 6 weeks. I think it's the exact date that you'll be changing job is kind of not set in stone yet. It's a lot more money, I'll tell you that much. And you see, whatever the money it is, you still don't get enough. Cops are going to get paid enough. Firemen, EMTs, nurses. You guys don't get enough money.
The next one on the list
is Trisha. She wants to know, will her brother come home?
Is he MIA right now? Because somebody just put him in the category of missing persons. Is he MIA?
No, he's actually, he lives in Canada. And she said he's lived in Canada for far too long and wants to know if he'll be coming home soon.
He's kind of comfortable living off the grid up there, I'm just saying. He does things in his own timeline. Like everybody else might be panicking because of the pandemic at the beginning, and he was sort of just like, what pandemic? He may be coming home around Christmas time, and I don't know if anybody else heard that. Spirit just said Christmas. Yeah, he'll be home around Christmas. I sort of feel it's going to be like the week before Christmas, but it could be as much as like a couple of days before Christmas. If it was an exact science, we'd all be millionaires.
Right? Sure would be nice.
Way too many variables that can change the dates and timelines of stuff, so
Yeah.
keep that
Then
in
you
mind.
gotta throw in the human or the free will there that can.
Listen, you
supposed to
can
be one way, but free will
you can be
ruins it.
told how to do things the right way, and then you come to me and I'm like, do we have to go in that order? Like, can we go like, you know, everybody does things in their own timeline.
Yep.
Yeah, so you heard it too? Okay, because I hear it and she said Christmas. Listen, I always have spirits that interject. They're usually coming through my microphone or the headset. Granted, I have spirits in my house. But you didn't figure that happening, right? Who has that? But I've had a couple of new spirits sort of hitchhike their way with me. So if my hair starts to stand on end, it's not me. His name's John.
All right. Next
Yes,
we have.
Sandy heard the spirit too. Yeah, because it's like some spirits talking. Like I don't like what.
All right.
To
Next
stage.
we have.
All right, Trisha,
sorry,
if you're
sorry.
asking if he's going to stay, he's coming home around Christmas time, but he doesn't strike me as the type that sets plans like, oh, I'm here for Christmas and I'm leaving on this day. It's sort of like, oh, we'll see where it goes. So I don't know what to tell you. Like maybe you can convince him to, but I would just appreciate and feel blessed that he comes home. Baby steps. Baby steps.
All right. We also have Brooke. She just wants a general read.
Okay. Brooke, do you usually play the lottery, honey?
Eileen, either Elaine. Look.
Trisha said, "Thank you. That is so him."
Listen, I wish I could be like, you're gonna stay in the United States, but that's just not gonna happen. I'm a very short girl and I'm not very intimidating. Okay, because I feel like you're going to, like, now's the time for you to buy a scratch ticket or play the lottery because it feels like you're going to get a big amount of money. And they're not telling me what the card number is, what the name of the ticket is, or whatever. If only it was that easy, right? But it does feel like there's a comma in it, so you're going to have to go straight to the lottery place to cash it in. You can't cash it in at a store. That means it's big money. I'll take 1% in yarn. Okay. Who's traveling? Whoever's traveling needs to check your fluids in your car.
That's funny because it's kind of going out of line, but I'm going to throw Linda up here. She just said if she could get, where'd it go? Can I get a card on travel? is what Linda had just said.
Somebody's telling me, like, oh, before you go for a long ride, like a road trip or vacation, whatever, you need to check the fluids in your car. They didn't specify which one, so check them all. And I want to say there's something with the radiator. Like, I don't know whether you're sure it leaks or you're not sure it leaks, but I'd get a definite confirmation either it does or it doesn't before you leave on this trip.
She said it's a rental car.
Make sure you documented that it was like that way when you rented it. Again, it feels like you're going to have to change vehicles. There's something with this car. Yes, I'm the type that when I drive, if I see 3 ravens on a phone pole, I turn around and I'm like, I'd love to go see you, but it's just not going to happen today.
And then Burke said, I'll buy you every yarn you want.
Oh, girl. Trust me. When you hit it, listen, don't tell nobody. Sign the back of the card and cash it in. But don't tell anybody because they'll be coming out of the woodwork for this amount.
I definitely ain't telling my family if I hit it.
Dwayne, every scratch ticket's a loser. Didn't you know that?
Uh-huh.
My family would try to kill me.
That's why you don't tell them.
Right? I'd have to move out of the country and change my name at that point.
Oh, my mother always said, change your phone number first before you tell anybody you won. Tell everybody you moved. Give them a different location so they go there first, so that gives you time to leave town.
There we go, see?
My mama was a smart woman. She was wicked smart.
All right. Then up on the list, we've got, and I'm sorry if I butcher your name, I'm horrible with it. Is it Eileen?
Oh, it's Eileen Stanton.
Yeah, there we go.
I know. Listen, I love her. And there's a song that says, everybody loves Eileen. And every time I hear her name, that's exactly what plays in my head.
Aw.
Eileen, what area do you want me to look into?
She said she wants to know what happened to her son's wedding picture that was on her wall.
Is this the one I did a reading for before concerning the wedding? Because that's self-explanatory why it's missing. Haha, Spirit just said they're not good. Oh, I feel some shade being thrown.
She said no.
Okay. Is the whole picture missing? Or is there like a piece of broken glass or something in the hallway? It's weird. Oh, you got the best cards, Eileen. I'm psyched for this. So the wheel card is Archangel Michael, who's like the biggest badass ass. Listen, when he hugs you, you're like, oh, thank you. I can stay here all day. But you got the wheel card, a time for positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. So basically, you can do no wrong. If you touch it, it's a winner. And that picture's not going to show up for at least another month. And I want to say it's in a closet somewhere. Second card for you is happy times. Make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. Like, you should come with me and we should go see Joni with the puppies. A relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. Okay, so this is probably the not so good part. We all have relatives that we have rocky roads with. Like, sometimes we love them and sometimes we really love them. It feels like this really love them, you're going to have a falling out. But in that falling out, you're not going to have to talk to them for like 2 years, so you get your sanity back. That's the resolution, is there's going to be a 2-year... Not you. They're going to say, well, I'm never going to talk to you again. Hold them to it because you need your sanity back. Picture's going to show up in a closet about a month from now. I don't know what the difference is, but there's something happening within this current month. Yeah, weird, right? Yeah, it's going to show up in a closet. I don't know how many closets you have, but even if you look now, it's not there. And I want to say Spirit borrowed it, and I don't know why. They tend not to answer all my questions when I throw them at Spirit. They're like, nobody's ever asked that. Okay, but can I have an answer? And they're like, oh, aren't you cute?
Right. Linda said, Lord, I'm driving on 2 vacations, one to Branson and one to Dover. And I'm
Okay.
excited about that Branson one because we're actually driving up to Branson and meeting them.
What is Branson?
It's in Missouri. It's a big town. They have it's basically a tourist city.
Is
They have
it
a theme
is it like
park and
a
water park and shops and shows and anything and everything you could want.
okay? And the other place is
Dover.
okay. So how's her trip going to be for Branson? Is that going to be the one where the car's going to give her issues? Nope. You're not going to have any issues in Branson. Nope, no issues. All right. Is she going to have issues in Dover? You're going to have issues in Dover. Should she have AAA handy? Listen, in Dover, you should probably make sure you have some water, a blanket, and some unperishable snacks. I'm a kid of listen, I lived through the blizzard of 78 and we've never come back the same. We always have to have food, water, and snacks in the car at all times.
There you go. And then Eileen said, I only have 3 closets in her.
I know, Eileen. Like even if I went through your closets right now, the picture's not going to be there. It's just Spirit borrowed it, and I don't know why. I've asked, I've inquired. They haven't gotten back to me, but it will turn up a month later in a closet that you've already checked, by the way.
I was gonna say if it was your Branson trip, Linda would be there to help you, but can't go to Dover. I'm sorry.
I don't know where Dover is. Is Dover the furthest from your house?
Tennessee.
I'm not sure where Dover is.
I
I,
know
only know
there's a-
Branson because we go to Branson all the time.
I know there's a NASCAR track in Dover.
Where's Dover? Maryland.
Maryland.
Oh, crab cakes. Here's the funny thing. As soon as they said Maryland, I see you broken down in front of a crab cake place. If you're going to break down, I'd want to break down at a bar too. Because I'm going to need that to sort of be calm enough to say, could you fix my car, please? Versus,
Right.
and it's going to be a hot one. It's going to be a hot day. So again, make sure you have some water. I always travel with a cooler that's filled with ice and drinks. I'm just weird like that.
I always have like soda, like a bottle or 2 of soda, some water, but it's just because I love it.
Listen, I can't tell you how many times that I've been stuck at a toll so long that literally, and I wish I was making this up. The circus was coming back from Maine, and they were stuck there too. So my husband's like, "Oh, there's a giraffe." I'm like, "Sure there is." And I looked at, that's a friggin' giraffe. But I always carry ice water and stuff just because of that. Because of the blizzard, you went without, and if you're at a toll booth for over an hour and a half, there ain't no McDonald's in walking distance. You need like chippies, pretzels, something, and water. Water, you can pack the little Crystal Aid or the Kool-Aid things. You got to have water.
Yep.
Yep, she always travels with food and drinks. Yeah, but you're going to be breaking down in front of a crab place. I just hike it there and get a big margarita. Some crab cakes with my aioli. You know, some good stuff.
So next, I'm gonna throw Sherrick under the bus
Oh, jeez.
because she hasn't had one yet, and we're just gonna see what comes up for her.
Okay, so what are we asking? For who?
Sherrick.
For me,
So Mom wants one.
you gonna throw me under there.
Well, somebody wants to give you the Best Mom of the Year award. Because you've had to sort of carry the weight of both of you lately, and I'm pretty sure it's because of Dwayne's job. But it's a female voice. She's saying you're an unsung hero.
Piggy Bankus.
Hmm.
There's a spirit behind you. That's why. There's a dog barking. There's a spirit behind you.
Is it male or female?
I'm trying to figure that out. It's male.
Okay.
Unsung hero. Mom of the Year, and you should be getting some sort of like reward or bonus. Like maybe Dwayne's gonna buy you flowers. There's something that's coming for you because of all your understanding and acceptance of what's been going on lately. But they're saying that you've actually been carrying both roles, so you have to be mom and dad, judge and jury.
Okay.
And this won't be when you're at home. This is going to be on some sort of road trip that you're on, probably on the way to investigation that has got a little sneaky reward.
That sounds like Dwayne.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're broken down and he comes up with a nice cold soda, you'd be like, I love you, boo. But you're not breaking down. Like, you actually, like, everything gets planned appropriately for you.
I hope.
Did you collect on all your tax benefits from the COVID supplement?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It feels like maybe there's a discrepancy between what you got back and how much the government actually owes you. There should be this, like, it's missing like a couple of hundred.
It's actually kind of the opposite. I didn't file my taxes, so
I want to say it's like
2 years ago.
275. Does that seem like the right number?
No, I actually skipped a year on filing my taxes, so me and my ex-husband both got the stimulus on our 2 girls 1 year, so I actually got overpaid.
So is the amount though like 275?
A little over 2,000.
Oh, there's a comma in there. Hey.
Yeah, got the 2 in there. But
again, I don't even know if they still do this. If my bestie was on, she'd be better able to answer because she does taxes. Do they still audit people?
yes. I did taxes. I used to teach tax classes.
Okay.
Yeah, they audit people.
I think you just got put into the category of an audit.
Okay.
So just be prepared. They're not showing me the how soon it's going to happen or what the end result is, other than it's going to be okay. That's all they keep saying. It's going to be okay, which usually tells me that you don't want me to flip my shit right now because it's going to be okay, but I want to know exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
They're saying it's going to be okay. It's going to work itself out, but it's coming. I don't even know how you get on the audit list, so I wouldn't.
You have to have.
I've been audited. I know. I can tell you one way to do it.
Well, you're going to get audited again, so
Claim
be
kids
ready.
that's not yours, and it'll happen.
don't
Yeah,
you
they
wish?
just-
Why can't we claim our animals? We
Right?
treat them like our kids, so like we feed and clothe them and take them to the mall. We do all sorts of things. Why can't we claim those as dependents?
Why can't we claim them after they're 18 and get all the credits for them?
Right? Because we don't stop taking care of them at 18.
Right? You just stop getting all
19,
the good
20,
benefits.
21, 22, 23, 24. Give
My
the mama.
mama.
They should cover my hair coloring cost forever.
Right.
Right. All right, so SB said, hello, can I be added to the list? SB, what kind of a reading would you like?
Do you just have a question you want answered? I can do that with the dowsing rods, or I can pull a card. I don't know what you're looking for.
Oh,
Who just said pizza?
Hey, Dwayne.
Who just had pizza? Spirit's like, I want pizza too. I'm not having pizza. I already eat dinner.
Did we have pizza last? No, that wasn't last.
Somebody's saying I want pizza too. It was definitely Spirit. Let's see. Hello, Dwayne. SB says I want to possibly connect with a past loved one for message. Well,
Well, that just now popped up on mine. See, there's that lag because that, like, literally,
What?
as you was reading it, I was like, "Where is that?" And then it popped up.
What?
SB, could you ask like maybe a specific question? Because I'm not getting anybody in Spirit that's coming forward unless you were the one that wants pizza or ordering pizza because Spirit just said, I want pizza too. I'm not getting anybody that's stepping forward. I'm sorry. Listen, they never leave me hanging, but something or somebody usually comes through with as a message, but maybe you have to trigger it with a certain question because I'm just not getting anything that's just free flowing right now. $45 and $50 still taking care of them. Yeah, I know. Listen, when they come home and they say they're finally leaving, change that bedroom of theirs into a yarn room. Put lots of crafts and don't make it neat, and they never come back. Trust me. Oh, you moving out? Can you carry that dresser and that chair upstairs to your room? Are you putting it in my room? Yeah, I am. Well, these are heavy, I know. Well, you're not going to be able to move them. I go, you said this was it, right? Yeah. Peace out. Pat
Oh,
Cross,
poor
my cat
Pat.
just ran into room with mouse in his mouth, and my dog is hot on his trail. Pandemonium is broken out. I'll pray for you, Pat, and I will send you an abundance of
I think there's a mud.
appreciation and healing light. Don't listen. They're just having themselves a good time. They don't need a reason. Did something happen to SB? Because like there's just nothing. I'll pull a card for you, SB, because I'm not really getting anything from Spirit coming through. So the first card for you is intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. This feels like your relationship's heating up again. And peace and abundance, a happy home life. So it's going to work out. So maybe you just haven't been giving your better half the attention they deserve. Also, a happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. Listen, everybody says, oh, ladies are sexy when there's ain't nothing sexier on a man or a woman than confidence. If you believe in yourself, you have this glow about you. And I mean believe in yourself. That doesn't mean like, toot your own horn. That is something different. It's not the obnoxious one. It's the cute one. I hope that helps you, SB, because I needed something a little bit more specific. I'm sorry.
Goodness.
Somebody's messaging me.
Oh, Linda. Linda said, "Is Dwayne gonna find love?" Talking about Dwayne Johnson that came in. He is such a sweet man, y'all. Like, I'm just gonna interject on this one. He will. He's too good of a man not to.
Actually, there's somebody that's already in his life that he just doesn't know. You might have friend zoned her. Not that that's a bad thing. Sometimes you need to be friends first. Like I tell people all the time, you just don't go from "Hi, how are you?" to "Hey, we're getting married." Although I've seen it happen, and I go, "Why?" You need to start off with friendship first because after the hotness wears off, you still got to be able to have a conversation. Like if they make you laugh, they're definitely a keeper. Let's see. Well, Dwayne Johnson Sr. going to find love. I think he is, but I think did he friend zone her? He did. He friend zoned her. Ooh. Is she the strawberry blonde? They say 2 weeks. That's a maybe 3 weeks. 4 weeks. They're saying 4 weeks is when like something changes for you, like the switch gets flipped. You finally start to see her in a different light. But she's a strawberry blonde. She cute too. She got little curls. Nice. And meanwhile, Dwayne's like, I just came on to say hello, and now she's telling me about my romantic social life.
Thanks, Linda. No.
That reading was brought to you by Linda Bird, who is going to get a lot of heat when this show ends, I'm sure. Don't shoot the messenger. Once it gets put out there in a question, Spirit usually just drops it down.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you want it or not, or whether it was a rhetorical question, like when you go, "How stupid was that?" and then Spirit goes, "Oh, let me tell you."
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, I wasn't talking to you, but thank you anyways.
Yup. My worst is, like, when I first started using my abilities and opening up, and until I learned, like, how to ground and control it a little better,
It's all over the
for
place.
some reason, they loved to talk to me when I was in the shower.
Well, I have no spirits allowed in my bedroom or bathroom for a reason, and I have an ensuite bathroom. But my mama don't listen. So my husband was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Why?" And he's giving me that look like, am I going to be next on the list? I'm like, "What is your problem?" He's like, "You played the same song over and over." I go, No. I love Patsy Cline. I do. I love her. I don't love her as much as my mama did. And she had everybody that sang the tune, whether it was the originator of the tune, like Willie Nelson singing Patsy Cline, for like the same song for like 17 times in a row. I'm like, "Girl, get off my ring." Because I have shower music, I play, and my husband's like, "I thought it was you." I'm like, "No." And then I was playing this one song over and over again. He comes in, he's like, "Was it your mother?" I said, "No, I just happen to like that band and the lead singer's very hot." Okay?
Right?
He had the guy wish me a happy birthday. I'm like, "You told him how old I was?" He's like, "I kind of thought I'd be getting a bigger reaction than this." I'm like, "Everything was going well in your favor until you told him how old I was." And then he said it out loud so everybody could hear how old I was. I'm like,
Nope.
He's like, "Well, how old did he think you were?" I'm like, "That's none of your business."
Right?
I'm still old.
I agree with Linda. She said she just wants Dwayne to be happy. And I agree.
Listen. And that's why I feel good about this relationship, because he knows her already, but he friend zoned her, and that's not a bad thing. But at the same time, you need to be friends first. There is no rush for any relationship. So all you girls that are 18, like, "Oh, I gotta get married." Said who? Don't get married and pop out kids till you've had at least 2 anniversaries at, like, say, Hawaii. In a cute bikini, something you can cherish, because once you start having kids, you don't get that cute figure back overnight.
Girl, let me tell you. No, you don't.
It's a lot of work. I lost 160 pounds.
Nice.
No, I didn't get a divorce. I wish I could say it was that, but that's not it. I finally had to do it for me, because I've been on both sides of the scale my entire life. But this time I did it for me.
No.
It wasn't a wedding. Wasn't like somebody like calling me fat. None of that. I had to do it for me. And it's still a work in progress. But I did buy a bikini the other day, though. And my kid and my sons are very supportive. They just like, "Don't get a thong." I'm like, "Ew, no." I got neighbors. I mean, I don't see them, but I got neighbors, and I wouldn't do that to myself or anybody else to cause them to need therapy. That's awesome, Linda. Do you know who the strawberry blonde is that Dwayne friend zoned? Because I'm gonna say you should probably give her a little nudgy. She needs to up her game this time. That's all I'm saying. She needs to up her game with the cute lipstick and the cute shoes.
There we go. I'm not sure if Dwayne's in here, if he just stopped in to say hi. He does that a lot.
He probably just stopped in to say hi, was the feeling I got. And then Linda's like, "So, about his romantic life." I'm like, "Yowza. Somebody's going to get the heat. Not me, though. I just the messenger."
Right.
He just broke out with the blonde. No, this is a strawberry blonde, and she's not officially a redhead, but she's definitely not just plain blonde. It's a strawberry blonde with a heavy redness in it, but she got cute little curls. I wish I had that kind of curls.
Oh, sorry, the school's blowing my phone up. We got semester tests this week, and our last week of school, and for some reason the school thinks that they gotta send me 15 text messages about it.
When my sons were in school, they couldn't remember which one was which, so they said one was absent. The wrong one's going on, like this one's going on a field trip, like the other way around. But don't be surprised if both of them show up now because you gave them okay.
Right?
I'm
And this is
getting
the
I'm getting a
everyone.
mail that's coming forward. Is there somebody that has activity in their house of recent? So maybe as soon as this evening where there's some electrical, like lights flicker, like, hey, spirits, hey, y'all, like, it's lights flickering and it's a male spirit. Like he's trying to get somebody's attention.
Okay, that was weird.
It feels like it's already happened, but like again, the timeline could be off, so maybe it's going to happen tonight. Just be aware that there's somebody lights flickering. It's just spirit. He's just trying to say hello because he misses you.
I mean, I've had recent activity in my house, but it's already happened.
Like within the last like 4 or 5 days, give or take.
Probably about 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah, no, this was sooner than that.
Okay.
My lights flicker all the time.
Is there a male that's passed that you've been thinking of or talking to?
Yeah.
Well, he's been trying to message you, and he's trying to tell you that he loves you and he misses you. That's all.
Okay.
They witness and they give confirmation that they're there for us when we go through these milestones, whatever it is. And for some reason, he's been trying to send messages through the radio, like music songs. And he said you should know that, but he didn't know if you were getting the message because it's like one song plays on this station, so you turn it, figuring I'm not in the mood for that. And then the other station has it. Ooh, and then the other station has it. It's a message from Spirit, and he's been trying to get your attention just because he knows you miss him, but he really misses you. And I guess that's a big deal for him because he might not have been verbal about it.
He wasn't in my life.
Like he's sending you yellow roses. For me, that's a meaning of like thanks for keeping me alive in your memory, like keeping him present day. My mother's been gone 3 years, and there's not a day that goes by that we don't talk about her or remember something about her, which is why we named the little puppy that came unexpectedly Rita. We weren't expecting her, girl. We had other names picked out, and it's something my mama would have done. Like, oh, just get another one. He ain't gonna care. I got her home, and he was like, yeah, we should probably go with the name Rita. And it's just stuck.
Now, Linda said, thank you. My lights just flickered, but I thought it was the wind.
Okay, so this could be a double. Or like piggybacking is what I call it. 2 messages, but they're actually for 2 different people, but they're the same kind of message.
Okay.
So it's just affirmation that they're there. They're witnessing. They're hearing us talk about them. The most funniest thing I get from male spirits is like, tell them I'm dead, I'm not deaf. And I was like, ouch. Like, maybe you guys should learn how to answer us then upon the first question, not like, did you hear me? Like, answer voluntarily, like, yep, nod, grunt, do something. Let us know that you acknowledge that we spoke to you and you heard it. That's all we're asking for. But they're like, I'm dead, I'm not deaf. It's like, oh, you're going to be more than deaf now. She's going to burn your ears right off.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Pat says, I've been seeing 1111 a lot lately.
Well, 11 is angel numbers, but let me see what I got here. Like, Joni can do numerology off the top of her head. Me, not so much, so she always makes me do the numerology. I don't know why. Let's see. Number 11 is stay positive. Your thoughts are materializing rapidly, so you want to ensure a positive outcome by focusing only on the good within yourself, others, and the situation. So in other words, feed it good energy, get good energy back. I'm all about that. Pay positivity forward, and you should be getting positive back. But let's see if it goes up to 1111. I don't think it does. Not by this book anyways. Nope. Mine only goes up to 1,000.
I had a chart on it that had the double numbers, but I don't remember off the top of my head what 1111 was.
Yeah. I know anything under 11 and under are all angel numbers. Like they're really close to God. They talk about spirituality, how they're there for us, we're there for them, the whole 9 yards. It's when you get higher numbers that, and then there's the theory that if you break it down to the smallest footprint, so 1111 would be 1 and 1 is 2, right? So that would be the smallest thing. So let's see what 2 has. Everything's fine and will continue to be so. Keep believing, especially since your feelings of hope lead to more positive outcomes. The angels can buoy your faith if you ask for help. So let's see, 1111 would be, that would be 4. That's the smallest number you can make out of that. The angels are with you. They send you the number 4 to reassure you that they've heard your prayers and are helping you out. Again, anything 11 and under is usually spirituality and spirit, how they hear us. You know, we ask them of something, they usually give it to us, unless you're always asking them. Yes, spirit does not like the gimmies. The gimmies are the ones that follow every psychic medium and ask a question every single time, 1,000 times, and it's the same question that they always ask, and spirit's like, they're not listening to me anyway, so why do I bother? We're not going to listen. So spirit can get pissy, and they can also have a great sense of humor because they're always playing jokes on me. I'll talk to him tomorrow and find out. You should, Linda. Let us know. Somebody just said I love you as a small child, though.
That would probably be my daughter that was never born.
She's cute little, she's like a little firefly, a little spark of energy. She's like, I love you.
See, we were finishing years ago. This is years ago. We were finishing a podcast and we were ending it for the night, and she come on there and was all, "Thank you." She's around me all the time. And Kate.
Yeah, it wasn't like a nasty spirit. It was like really cute.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the look is like, oh,
Yeah.
I love you.
What, baby girl?
Mhm.
Yeah, she's very vocal.
Yeah, she's blowing kisses right now. She's running around like, you know, doing that skip jump thing that kids do, and she's like, wah, 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 wah. She cute.
Funny thing with her though is, before me and Dwayne got together, actually Katie, the one that was in here earlier, when she was little, she had a quote unquote imaginary friend.
She's not imaginary. She's a spirit.
Yeah. And I'd ask her, I'd be like, Katie, what's her name? And she'd say, names don't matter. She don't have a name. You know, Katie's like
'Cause she
4 and
was
5
never
at the
physically
time.
born.
Listen, some spirits don't give me their name, and I'm not the one to sit there and poke to get their name, because usually their name isn't significant as much as their story, their truth, or the help that they need. Sometimes you don't need a person's name to help.
Right. Well, with this one, you know, Katie, the whole time, and this was before, like, I'd opened up to the abilities or, you know, really anything like that. That's why I said, quote unquote, imaginary.
Pre-awakening.
Anyways, she'd be like, well, she don't have a name, Mama. She don't have a name. Okay, you know, so, I get up one day, and let's skip forward a few years. I get up one day, and I go to the bathroom, and I thought I seen Katie in her room. Because, you know, I had to walk by her bedroom to go to the bathroom. So, and I'm like, wait a minute. Katie was in my bed asleep. So when I walked back through, she wasn't in there, came back to my room, and Katie's still sound asleep in my bed. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, go back in Katie's room, and I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, you know, just seeing a spirit. So then fast forward a few more years later, after my awakening, get with Dwayne, and I'm reading Dwayne, and come to find out she's actually Dwayne's daughter that was never born.
Right.
And when I was putting, you know, reading it, I was trying to get the name on it. I got names aren't important, which is exactly what my daughter told me about her friend. His names wasn't important.
Was there a decision though with the girl's name? Like, was one person more for this name and the other person more for that name? Because sometimes that happens, and I'm being given a reference that because maybe some person changed her name after the fact.
No, she was a miscarried. The pregnancy terminated itself.
So when
she's
so when
never
you
giving
when
a
you
name.
when we carry a baby, right? So in the first ultrasound, we sort of give it a nickname, whether it's Bean, Jelly, something. We give it a little nickname. Was there a nickname given to this little girl?
Dwayne, did y'all have an ultrasound? Bro, get that turtle away from me. No, get the turtle. If you don't want that turtle to go flying out the front door, get it away
It's
from
a
me.
turtle.
Hold this one.
Dwayne,
I'm not a Mutant Ninja fan. Sorry.
did y'all have an ultrasound with her?
No, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
there wasn't an ultrasound. It was very early on termination. Was there a
They
nickname?
don't bite. But I just don't like that.
Sorry, he's distracted
It's
with the
peeing
kids.
on me.
Hello? Was
What?
there a nickname given to her?
Probably home.
No.
15,000
Not that I can recall. That was
Yeah.
20,
I think it
14
was
years
more
ago.
they found out that she was pregnant because of the complications and because of the miscarriage.
Right.
So I mean it was like way super early on.
She's been given the opportunity to come back. She's just a little scared. So when they haven't actually walked the earth and they have an opportunity to come back again, some will take it, but again, it's free will, and some don't. Some, like, say if the mother miscarried twice, they've already tried to come back before, and there was another miscarriage, so now that small soul is just terrified to come back. But they're not forced to come back, so it's up to them. It just feels like she tried to come back. She's just really scared.
Okay.
But she loves her daddy.
She does.
She loves her daddy.
We've got multiple EVP.
Did you get one of her going, I love you? Like, it's just so cute the way she said it. I love you.
Have you got one of that? I know there was one, because Dwayne sings like all the time. And there was one time when he was recording himself when he was singing, and you hear a little girl in the background go, I'm sleepy.
It's like I was singing in the sleep.
But that's how she talks. It's not like I love you where it ends. It's always like on a higher pitch.
Mm-hmm.
When she said thank you at the end of the podcast, she was like, thank you.
Yeah, she's super polite and she's super cute. Like those little cheeks.
Yep.
She carries around a little stuffed bunny, but it's not any like bunny rat. Like I have a stuffed bunny rat, but it ain't like this one. This one here is long. It's got really long ears, and she holds it by like the arm, but she's got a little dress on. I don't know if maybe the stuffed animal's significant. It's like a pale hint of pink dress with like a peachy colored flower on it, like that print that sometimes you find them in sheets or nightgowns and stuff, that kind of print, but that's what's on the little bunny. And there's like 2 coral type ribbons on one on each ear, but they're really long, floppy ears on the bunny.
Okay.
Because I made the joke to her, I'm like, ooh, nice bunny. Somebody loves you. And she went, hee hee. I guess she carries this bunny everywhere. It's like her little buddy. So she has a little bit of anxiety. Like she's comfortable around you, but when she's asked, like when she gets put on the spotlight, she starts to get a little wiggy. And I told her, so he protects you? She's like, it's a she. I'm like, oh, sorry.
I'm asking Dwayne if he can fix my phone.
What's wrong with your phone?
My brother put on the voice activation thing.
Sorry, my son's talking about his phone.
Your daughter just said, not nice. Not nice.
Huh.
That's how boys are, though. Sometimes they do that to their others' phones.
Yep. He's been gone all weekend. He went camping and he just now got home, so.
Do you have a music box or something that goes off occasionally? It's like, do you remember the kind of jewelry box that you opened up this little ballerina and it did the little, like, it's like pinging noises, but like it would play like a ballerina tune as the thing spinned around? It feels like that.
Hmm.
Can I use your charger?
It might be blue on the outside. I'm sorry, the blue on the inside. I don't know what color the outside is. I'm only being shown inside the music box or jewelry box.
We don't have one.
No, we don't have one specifically.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. How are you? Hi from the goat. You should have been here earlier. They were fainting all over the place. No, just kidding.
Just wanted to say hi from the paranormal goat from Ohio. Good night.
Ohio. Good night, Jeff.
Oh,
Alright.
we lost Jackie.
All right. Well,
I'm pretty sure it's the storm because it's getting pretty severe because I can still see the thunder and lightning outside.
It hasn't got to us yet, but it's on its way.
What?
yeah, we're supposed
It's
to have
coming.
storms tomorrow.
It's coming.
Oh, joy, I get to work in it. Yay.
So you guys are gonna have to let me know when you're available when my show officially airs, because I do my shows anyways, but when it officially airs, and we'll have you on. And if there's anything you want to promote, let me know and I'll bring you on.
Oh, that'd
for
be
sure.
awesome. Yeah, right now we don't really have a whole lot going on.
I mean, I'm working on
P.S.
getting stuff lined up.
Jeff says, P.S. One once the groundskeeper at the Bel Air House. So he once was the groundskeeper at the Bel Air House. Is that what he's telling me? I've never been to the Bel Air House.
I've heard of it.
Jeff,
I'm familiar
we'll have
with
to
it.
bring you on and share some stories there then. That'd be pretty amazing.
Could I ask a little favor of your followers?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't have enough subscribers for YouTube because I didn't know you had to have people on to subscribe before you get, because I was too busy trying to get all the TikTok stuff done. If people
Yes.
if people could subscribe to my YouTube, because whoever makes the 1,000th person to subscribe, we're going to have a surprise gift for them.
Ah, there you go, guys. So,
I believe
Definitely.
in rewards for hard work. So yeah, and I know. And people are like, well, how many more you need to go? Like 990? No, it's like more like 900, 950, I think. Yeah, because I'm usually
Right.
the one watching YouTube. I'll start off with kitties, and I end up with serial killers at the end. We always meander back to the paranormal, no matter how many times I try to we're going to decompress, we're not going to do paranormal. I start with cute kittens or puppies, and then my son will pop in or call. He's like, you're stuck in YouTube hell. I am like, we're just starting. I'm like, puppies. Where are you now? I'm like, oh, just like America's top 10 famous serial killers. No big deal.
I love the serial killers, though, like the
So
documentaries
good.
and the.
Listen,
Like,
do you know
Chuck-
the Muffin Man? The Muffin
Yes.
Man was a serial killer.
Just the psyche of them, like psyche or whatever, like just it's. I don't know why I'm so intrigued.
You know you found your proper people when all of your friends are watching the same thing and you didn't prompt them, or you can solve the crime in the first minute it's on. And my husband's
Yes.
like, well, I'm not going to watch that. I'm like, wait, but he goes, nope, that's it. We're 1 minute in. And so I have to learn to bite my tongue when I watch stuff. He didn't do it. That one did it. Okay, I got pushed through the window. A spirit pushed me out of my own car before an investigation. Didn't stop me from going in, though. Did make me have to wear a knee brace for a week and a half, but hey, I went in.
Can't say that's interesting. Like, I don't know. I can't say I've had anything super bad happen from spirit, except for when, I don't know what to call it. Like, I don't think it was like an all full-on possession, but like it used my body and I passed out and I don't remember it.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Like, when I was in Gettysburg. Where was I? I was at the Farnsworth. Like we were upstairs in the attic, and I'm one that never loses my phone. If I get told to turn it off, I turn it off. The phone was on. It had taken 3 pictures, and I somehow misplaced my phone. Not only did I misplace my phone, we were listening to the EVPs, and I hear my voice, and I looked at my friend. I go, "When the hell did I ask a question?" She goes, "What do you remember last?" I said, "The spirit that walked by the door." And she said, "You asked a question." I'm like, "I don't remember even asking the question." So I lost that little moment of time. I've stayed there afterwards, and I haven't had any issues. I think just that one particular night that they always look for that one crack. If you get a small crack in your personality that day, whether it be like you were arguing while driving, there's something, they'll take advantage of that. And I think I that's why I'm always so prudent about going into an investigation that we're all safe. Even if they're not with my group, but they're there, oh, you're all getting smudged before you go, because ain't nobody want to bring home this stuff to their, hey, honey, look, I'm home. And they'll go, look at Jack the Spirit I brushed by him. He's the Ripper. Don't pay any attention to him. No. Everybody gets smudged.
Yup. And see, like, with this one, it was early on into... I didn't have a full understanding of how everything worked, I guess.
Well, like I said, you should always ground, bubble it with protection light, and meditate, and in that order, and only in that order, because you only make the mistake one time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it takes is one time, and it takes more to unscrew it than to screw it up.
Yep. And see, on mine, like, I had gotten some really bad news that day, and I was, like, super emotional anyways. Just wasn't a good day. And Dwayne calls me, and he's like, hey, we're going to go out to the cemetery. And I'm like, okay, I'll go on an investigation. It'll get my mind off of everything,
Absolutely.
So we get out there, and I'm drawn to this one. It's like kind of like a raised grave, I guess. Kind of. Had rocks around it, everything. And back then, I used to wear a belly button ring, and it had a cross on it. And I kept telling Dwayne and Lauren, and I was like, he wants me to take my cross off. And Dwayne's like, no, come on, we need to go. And, like, everything else was happening. Like, other people were being, like, Tim, one of the guys that was with us, was very skeptical. He seen a white lady float across the road. Like, a lady, like a white figure, float across the road. And he was skeptic, and that, like, really tripped him out. We had the Ovilus going, and it was taking shots of everybody's, like, personal family, just a whole bunch of stuff was going on.
But Sharika, to be skeptical is one thing. Like, I tell everybody, you want to be the investigator. Like, that's nice that we know the place is haunted in advance, but I want to be the Christopher Columbus. I want to be the detective.
Right.
But if we're going to make stuff up, because you hear it all the time, oh, she's a fake, he's a fake, whatever. What benefit do I get upon driving upon a car accident?
Right.
Did I get joy out of that? No, I got 3 days of no sleep. That's what I got out of that. And there's no way my girlfriend who was riding in my front seat would know that there'd be 3 orbs. And I told her to take a bunch of pictures quickly. And I go, no, check your phone for the orbs. And she goes, you think we got any? I said, I'm getting 3. She looked at it and she got 3. She's like, there's no way. I don't have time to Google everybody.
Exactly.
How am I gonna know certain things? Like, if you don't put it on your Facebook and tell the world. First of all, if you saw how many places I have to save on my laptop, and my son will be like, there's like 8,000 pages. Yeah, because I can never get back to where I was.
Right.
It's just crazy. To think that people would go out of the way, and then the ones that do go out of the way to be frauds, it's kind of hard for me to believe that famous people, out of everybody in the world, they choose that one person to make contact with to give a chuckle or something. Like, come on.
Yep.
I mean, I've coincidentally picked out that, somebody's with somebody important, like famous person, messaged them, and they were like, there's no way you could know that. I'm like, absolutely. Not only do I not know how I did this. I can't get his best friend and him straight because they both have the same first name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jeff said at the one time he was waiting on a team at the Villa house and the candle came on by itself. It was cold all around my legs, and then the cold went away. Man.
Yeah.
And see, I'm the kind of investigator that, like, yes, I go out on investigations, love to catch evidence when it happens. It's not my purpose. I've actually gotten into some arguments over that because that's not my purpose when I go on an investigation. Is it cool when we catch evidence? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like it. But that's
Is that the only thing that you get
goal.
from a haunted location? Absolutely
no.
not. You get so much
Exactly.
more. A life lesson. But how do you... I can never remember to take pictures when I'm on an investigation. Do you know why? Not that I don't want pictures with everybody. I'm focused on, what's your story? Oh my God, really? Like, what was that like? I'm not connected to like, oh, let me get some photo ops. And then I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me to take pictures? I didn't remember to take pictures with anybody. So it looks like I was never there.
Right? Yeah.
But
see,
that's not
me
my
when I go
purpose.
in, like, I've actually gotten into an argument with a guy over that because we were investigating and it was kind of raining and he's like, well, the equipment. And I'm like, whatever. Anyways. But for
I
me,
don't-
like,
do
I
you-
go out
Do you
to these
need equipment?
investigations,
Sharika, do you require equipment to contact them? Okay,
No.
but you're fascinated with the whole process like I am. Like,
Right.
how the hell did that work?
Yes.
I know how I get my messages, but how does that piece of equipment work when there's no way I know what I'm walking into?
Yes.
How does on a ghost box app that I haven't used come on a kid's toy that we were testing out because the spirit liked the lights? I'm in Pennsylvania and crystal clear comes out Massachusetts. Oh yeah, like that's a common word. Come on.
No, see, okay, we were at me, Lauren, Dwayne, and Tim was actually at a different cemetery, and me and Lauren was by ourselves over on one side of the cemetery, and the guys was over on the other side, and me and Lauren have the spirit box, and Lauren's like, do you know who we are? And it comes across plain as day, and I wish Lauren was on here because she could verify it. It come across plain as day, and it said Sharika. Okay, if you type my name into any kind of like computer,
It comes out Sharika. It doesn't come out Sharika. Right.
It comes out exactly. So when it said my name and it said it right, like I'm not gonna lie, I about crapped my pants. And like I will tell you, I am the biggest scaredy cat ghost hunter there is.
Thank you. If there's a bug, don't look for me. I'll already be driving or back in Massachusetts. I don't care where I am. I can make it there like that. I don't do creepy crawlies. So these people like, don't you have to lie down to ground? Who told you that?
No.
Well, psychics can't drink. Who told you that? Who are these they?
Exactly.
Nobody, no two people with their abilities are alike. We may have lots of similarities, stuff that overlaps, but there's always somebody different that has a specific ability that is above all the other ones. Like, I can do psychometry. I didn't even know it had a word. All I know is that it could hold an item of somebody's and tell you everything about the item. I didn't know it was called psychometry. I'm like, psycho who?
Right.
And I don't know many that can do it. And I can do it even if I don't hold the item, because naturally during the pandemic, sharing is not caring. I can still get stuff from it. Like, people go, what can you do? I'm like, it's kind of easy to ask me what I can't do, because there's always something new and it's always changing.
See, that's me. That's like when people are like, well, what's your ability? I'm a Heinz 57. Sometimes I can do this. Sometimes I can do this.
I'm a good old American mutt of a psychic. That's what I say. I'm a mutt of a psychic.
Do that? Like, I don't know. I just, when I get things, I get things. I get it in different shapes, forms, fashions, and it's random.
Now,
you guys sitting down, like, doing the reads on the live feeds and stuff, I can't do that. Because I can't sit down and just be like, okay, this person this person this. Like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't.
Right. And that's just how I am. They're like, well, she probably gives out the same information. No, I don't. I could have the same cards pulled for 7 people, and each time I get something different out of the card.
Yep. The cards are just a guide.
Yeah. Or my abilities might be questioned because, like, oh, well, you use dowsing rods. Yep. Well, they probably have magnets in them.
No, they don't. We use them.
These things are tighter than pantyhose, okay? You ain't putting no magnet in that little tube. And I don't gussy them up. And I intentionally made my own so that people could, and they're like, well, they probably only work for you. No, I gave them to everybody else around me to use them when I first made them. And now I've made copper ones, but people are like, well, what's taking so long? It didn't take me long to make them. I have to make sure they're working. I don't want to give somebody a product and have them pay me, and then it's selective. Like, it might only like men, or this one only likes blondes. And Spirit gets that picky. So I like to make sure that I can back up what I'm saying.
Right. I love our dowsing rods. That's one of my favorite tools I use, and I love to use them.
Because there's no logic. There's no logic for these why they should work.
Right.
Same thing with the Ghost app. There's no logical reason certain ones should work. Now, my Ghost box, my fancy one, was made by Rob Hernandez, and he does the ITC show for Para Awakening on Live Paranormal. I said, we're getting them. He's like, yeah. And so I said to my producer, I said, is mine number 3? And he goes, what do you mean? So then Nikki's like, forget it. We're just calling and we want to know. And she said, Rob, what numbers is Lisa's? And he goes, I don't know why. And she goes, just get the number off the back of it. It's the 3rd one. And he's like, there's no way she could know that. I just numbered them earlier today.
Yep.
But I kept getting the number 3.
Yep. Like, for me, like I was saying, like, going out and getting the evidence, I absolutely love when we're on an investigation and we get evidence.
And I've been watching you guys for years.
I will scream. I will cuss. I will, like, and everybody's like, but that's what you go out to get. And actually, at this last investigation that we did, I don't know if you was in the live feed on that one or not, when we was at the Palmyra house, we were doing the Estes experiment, and Jackie had the headphones and the blindfold on.
Right.
And something touched my back. And that's the 2nd time at that location that he's touched my back. It's one of the male spirits there. He doesn't do it like harming. He's a very big flirt. And he likes to rub my lower back.
Yeah, he's sort of doing is like, oh no, like if you've had a tough day. Like, I have people in my group. We're called OPP because we're other people's paranormal, because everybody came from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But I need somebody that has eyes on me the entire time, because sometimes I don't. They tell me I change when I'm connecting with spirit. I've never watched any of my own lives. It's just creepy to me. I don't need a 6-foot banner with my face on it.
Right.
That's gonna freak me out worse than anything. So I don't usually do paracons. Why? I don't want to have to get a banner of myself. That's weird.
See, we do paracons. Well, we threw a paracon, but we didn't do a banner. Like, I don't want to be on a banner either.
It's just weird. So they'll say, like, my face changes or whatever. I'm like, okay, but I need somebody that knows me and how I always am versus how I am when I have to investigate versus, oh, I think Spirit's trying to snatch you out a little bit.
Yep.
So, and people like, he rubbed your shoulders. I'm like, yeah? Okay. And I think the funny thing is I don't remember talking to him.
Wow.
There you go. But it wasn't that I wasn't connected. I was connected with spirit. That person saw something that he wasn't comfortable with in my eyes that has never been there before. Like, I'm not one that goes out like, oh, I'm going to teach them a lesson. I'm sort of like, well, if that's the way they feel, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm somebody's cup of tea.
Right.
You ain't my cookie for that tea either, but it's okay. We're going to go our separate ways. We'll be good. Versus somebody that doesn't let it go. You don't have to like psychic mediums, healers, or whatever, but it's not harming anybody to believe in it.
Exactly.
I just want their story. I want to know from their perspective what happens. Because usually it's his side, her side, and the truth. I want to know why they happen and what can we now, in this time period, gain from their story. Like, how can we make things better?
Yep, and that's one of the big things that I do when we're investigating and I'm communicating with the spirit that's there is, I want to know your story. Like, tell me your story. What do you want known?
And
Like-
people seem to think that we go everywhere where there's already that's been investigated. Not necessarily. I have many friends that have paranormal activity in their house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, could you just come check? And I have other people in the paranormal field that don't know who to turn to. Because let's face it, some of these people who may be okay psychic readers, but they charge like a mortgage payment.
Yep.
It's like, how are you helping anybody?
And that's one of my big things too is, I get, charging some here, for the more in-depth, the more, but at the same time, I don't like.
Here's the thing.
There's a lot of them that like, if they charge an arm and a leg for everything, and they don't do any kind of like, I don't really want to say free, but if they're not willing to help people,
listen,
and they're just in it for the money, I won't have anything to do with it.
And here's the thing, because everybody's like, well, you're not making any money. I don't charge anybody in my own field. If you're having one of those oh shit moments at 3:30 in the morning, because my phone always goes off at 3:30 in the morning. It's like a magic number, and it's not like they give me a free beer every time I get one.
Right.
Obviously, it's an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Should we all wait for this emergency? No, but we're not going to call another paranormal person and be like, okay, so that shitstorm hit, and now I don't know what to do.
Right.
But I would never turn away anybody. I would give you the best advice possible. Am I going to drive down to Maryland, Carolina, Texas in the middle of the night? No.
No.
But if you plan it accordingly, the first thing you want to do is diffuse the situation so everything calms down so you can see what agitated the spirits.
Yo.
And then if you can't rectify it on the one or two suggestions that I make, because you got to start somewhere, baby steps. Because I don't bleach out places. People like, no, well, she said it was this much. I'm like, well, are you getting a free reading with that one? No. Does she explain to you what happened at your house? Well, no. And I'm like, oh. I don't charge that much, but I need my gas money recouped because I got to pay for gas. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I need.
Yep. And see, that's the way we are. Like, if it's a private residence or, whatever here locally, I don't charge.
But now, if it's coming out of your wallet.
Travel,
right, if it's coming out of your wallet.
I'm like, okay, cover the gas and half the hotel. Like, I'll even foot some of it just because. But I'm not going to foot all of it if you're that far away.
Yeah.
I have normal friends everywhere. If I can't get to you and you don't want to, pay for the gas,
exactly.
I've got other teams that I can get you in touch
with. And you guys are on my list for a reference because I like to vet each one of my references because they've paid other people big money to come in and cleanse the place. They came in, they wreaked havoc, they pissed the spirits off, and then they left and they wouldn't return their call. But you don't want to pay me for the smudge that I'm going to send you? Like, if I have to drive there and do it myself, I will, but you got to remember, I'm not the one that started this. I'm the one that usually has to clean it up. So I'm not looking to be rich or famous. Although I'm sure famous would be nice for somebody. It's just not my thing. And rich, I just like to have money so that I can pay positivity for it. So right now we're trying to collect some money for a single mother who has an emergency need. And we're just trying to help her out. This is what I do. I might buy the police station all an ice cream. I donate to a little girl making lemonade. I give her $100. Why? Because she's going to remember that for the rest of her life.
Yep.
Different things like that. Animal causes. I crochet all the time, so I make items, and I never keep anything for myself. I usually make it like for a baby shower. Some of the homeless people was particularly cold, and I saw them with like these rather tattered blankets, and I know we can do so much better.
Yep.
So I just tap into it. If we're not using our abilities for good, what the hell is the point of having them?
Exactly.
But I vet each person I reference, and you guys have always been there, and I've been a follower of yours for like longest time.
I appreciate that.
Do you remember the location you went to? I think it was like a retreat or something, and there was a Native American shaman behind the podium.
That was actually our Paracon. Yes.
Okay, because I remember that one, and there was another location that you guys had an issue, and I think it was a cornfield or something. But I tell people all the time, investigate. Investigate. If you're going to pay them, if they want $5,000, they better have lunch, breakfast, and dinner, and a little cute man in a tight pair of shorts going, "Would you like a chocolate before bed?" For $5,000, I think that's not asking a lot.
Right?
I am not the most expensive, but I'm also not the dirt cheap. Sometimes you get what you pay for. I ask for no more than what I need.
Yep.
And I do that for a reason, because I'm not trying to be somebody on the TV network. Because I can't guarantee something's going to happen. I can't guarantee a specific spirit's going to come through. You're going to get whatever spirit determines is important and of the essence that moment, that slice in time that you come to me with that question. That's what I'm giving you, whatever I get.
Yep.
But I also make spirit give me 85% or better. So that's why I'm 85% or better in accuracy, because when they say, "Oh, it's this," I'm like, yeah, anybody can get pregnant. I'm going to need something more than like, yeah, you can get pregnant. Like, give me a timeline. Like, is there foliage? Are we having a parade for the 4th of July? Like, give me something I can tangibly tell them is going to happen. Gretzky was a reptilian hybrid, yes or no? Gretzky, the man that threw his wife under the bus when somebody shattered the glass and he didn't bother to check to see if it was okay. The lucky stick, my fanny. My Hockey Hall of Famer, Cam Neely, the man, the myth, the legend. Bam Bam will always be my hero.
What'd you do?
He's a Bruin.
Going down
I don't watch hockey. I'm not a sports person.
That's the only sport I'm just getting into football, but hockey is my thing. It's my thing.
I watch some football.
We
but
would disagree on teams.
I only support one team. This team and anybody who beats the Canadians. And here's the weird thing. On my mother's death certificate, it said French Canadian, and my kids were mortified. They're like, "What did you find?" I go, "I've got Nana's death certificate." And they're like, "And?" I'm like, they're like, "What?" I'm like, "You ain't going to like this." And they're like, "What? Was she, like, was that not her name?" I'm like, "No, she's French Canadian." My kids all went, "Oh, we can't even tell anybody." I'm like, "I know." Their best friend's a French Canadian fan.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV. When I do, it's usually like some kind of serial killer documentary.
I watch the same 3 channels. We must have 3,000. I watch the same 3.
Yeah, I don't have much time for it. Dwayne has to have the TV on when we go to sleep, so it's usually like Impractical Jokers
Impractical
or a game
Jokers is
show
my favorite
or
television show.
Yes, some people just need white noise. Yeah, some people just need a white noise to put
Well,
everything else at bay.
If I'm sleeping in the dark with no sound, and it's crazy because I'm a ghost hunter, but I'm sleeping
No!
in the dark. If
Dwayne! That's why
it actually
animals.
makes more sense.
Yeah, but that's why animals freak out. It's not the noises that freak them out, it's the silence. So I've always left a TV on that's on like a soap opera or something so that there's regular conversation when I go out, because my dog would get crazy. Now with the 3 puppies, life is just crazy, and they're in the habit of watching country music videos because that's usually what I watch at night while I crochet.
Yeah, like if I sleep in the dark and with no sound, it's like spirit comes and talks to me while I'm trying to go to sleep.
Okay, so you need to set aside a rule that there's no spirits in the bedrooms or the bathroom like I do. And you know those cute little fairy lights that you can get? They're not super bright. They're almost like a kid's night light. It's like that kind of, it's just a little light. I have them in my room, and that solved the problem.
Yeah.
So I have my whoopee. Do you guys have a whoopee? Some people call them. Okay, so I have a whoopee. My kids have a whoopee. They're older. They're like 24, 26. By having the whoopee, you can take that blanket and go anywhere. Put it on the pillow in your hotel room, and you can fall asleep because it's got your scent to it. Makes all the difference. Even if there's a creepy Abe Lincoln looking spirit dude that comes through in the middle of the night, I thought I was hallucinating or dreaming, so I just waved at him, said hello, and went to bed. Had no idea it was haunted. I was like, oh my God, because I didn't tell anybody. They're like, a spirit woke you up, you didn't say anything? Why didn't you jump? I'm like, because I had my whoopee. I was already in the sleep. I thought, it wasn't even a loud noise. It's like when the wood cracks when you're trying to tiptoe past your parents when you're after curfew. It was that kind of noise, and it was just enough for me to open up my eyes. He looked at me, he smiled, and I said, hi, and then I went back to sleep.
Yeah, with the way that I do aura protection, usually, like, I don't know.
Darkness cannot exist when there's even just a microscopic speck of light. Remember that.
Right.
I have a hula hoop that I turned into a dream catcher that I put rose quartz, amethyst, real crystals. I sewed them on, and that stays above my bed. But there's no spirits in the bedroom or the bathroom. Not here. Nope. And you gotta set rules like don't bother the pets, don't bother people when they're coming in, etc.
Yep. See, I don't have them in my bathroom. In my bedroom, I don't mind too much because we have a lot of spirit spirit guides, spirits we work with.
Oh no! That's not what I'm talking about. My house has spirits too, but bedroom and bathroom, that's going to be your one place of serenity where you can go where you sort of get to put spirit on pause.
Right.
Unless it's an emergency.
Yep. The ones that are usually here, though, like our normal ones, they don't really bother us at night, so. Oh.
And most people think you have to go to the haunted location to get anything on the ghost app.
No.
Apps, you don't. You can park across the street. I got some of my best evidence from the Lizzie Borden house across the street that nobody in the car could verify. So, of course, I looked crazy until we went in, and then the woman said, no, that happened next door. And I said, told you.
Yep.
I know who did it.
Yep.
But
And I
the
love
fear-
when you go to locations and you're doing the walkthrough and you're like, oh, there's something connected to this. Like, okay, we went to one and I told her, I was like, it's something like right here on your leg is like right about the pocket line, like right at the end of the pocket. I was like, there's a little boy and something to his leg right there. I couldn't pinpoint what it was. And she's like, oh, that don't make no sense. I don't know. I'm like, okay, so we're like continuing the walkthrough, you know, and she's telling us different things. And we get to one, and it was the doctor's sign, and he had picked up a handful of what he thought was worms and put in his pocket, and it was a handful of copperheads, baby copperheads. And I'm like, right there, I was saying right at the pocket line, he put a handful of copperheads in his pocket on his leg, and it bit him. And she's like, oh, that does make sense. I'm like,
I didn't take any pictures, but yet Lizzie showed up in the photos that everybody else took that I didn't see until months afterwards. But there was this cat. Now I thought, did people go, a cat, really? I'm like, no, the woman sitting across from me, I was like, you keep scratching your leg, it's a cat. That can't be. And then the guy sitting next to her goes, well, I saw the tablecloth skirting move. And I said, it's the cat. I said, It's a black cat. I said, it died about a month ago. I said, and Lizzie's saying that her father poisoned it. The woman says, no, there's a black cat. So there's this little wooden figurine above one of the door frames. I said, no, that's not it. I'm talking a real cat, like meow, real cat. The host that, she said we only had an hour. We were there for like 4. It's okay. She knew what we were doing. It was good. So she comes back and she goes, no. She goes, there was a cat. There was a stray cat. She said, and it died like about a month ago. Was it solid black? And she goes, yeah. I go, that's the cat.
mm-hmm. Yeah, funny that you mentioned that because was it last night I was sitting outside? Friday night.
It was last night.
No, it was last night. We had a kitten that passed away yesterday.
No,
Oh, I'm
Friday.
sorry. I'm sorry,
And
honey. That's
It's okay. It was sad, but well, I went outside and I was sitting outside on our porch and I was smoking a cigarette and I kept feeling a cat or a little kitten because it didn't come up above my pants line. You know, I'm sitting down, so and it kept rubbing across to my back like 11. You know, like cats.
yeah. I do. Like, you're mine. I want to say hello.
And Dwayne came outside and I'm like, "There's a cat rubbing up against me," and he's like, there's no cat out here. And it like moved down and it rubbed against my leg, and I'm like, I'm telling you, there's a cat out here.
There is. We have a chair that belonged to my husband's grandfather. It's the only item I wanted only because my kids would sit on his lap and they had their photo taken in the chair, so we have it. So then my husband comes in and he's like, our cat's acting really weird. That's okay. All of our pets are weird. What are you talking about?
So are mine. So are mine.
It's just as if you had patted the cat and decided to scratch her back end,
Mm-hmm.
but there's nobody in the chair. And then my husband's like, just sit in the chair and watch TV. I'm like,
No.
And he's like, what? I'm like, how awkward is it going to be if I sit in your grandfather's lap? I'm just saying it's a little weird. I can't. Is that? But
Yeah.
even the new puppies, because they weren't around when we got the chair, they act the same way, and especially little Rita, like her little tiny self, she'll get up there and she ends up I know she's nuzzling the grandfather, but it looks like she's nuzzling the back of the chair.
Right.
She looks a little weird. But that chair has more importance than anything else in that room. And there's no way, but if you take a moment and realize, okay, so what you're seeing looks strange. Now, imagine if it's a person that's patting the back and they go, oh, then that would make total sense what the animal's doing. Exactly. Animals have brought me more clients, more people, more friends, and so forth. I went to take a Narcan class because they were offering it free in my area, and I'm one of those, let's be proactive. We don't need shaming. What we need is compassion. Let's try that for a change. And the girl there, I was like, there's a spirit standing behind her. And my husband's like, because I'm talking to him on my phone, he's like, I'm like, okay. And then she kept rubbing her leg, and I'm like, oh, there's a cat there. So after she goes, you saw him. Hi. I go, I did. Don't you know she joined us this past weekend when we did an impromptu investigation in my area? And she's like, oh, I'm in bed with my dog and stuff. I'm like, well, it's okay if you decide. And she goes, well, if you decide to go to the Fae Club, I'll meet you there. I'm like, it's 2 blocks away. See you in a second, boo. Yeah. And I can already tell that we're going to be really fast friends. Because it's almost like I got 4 people that all have abilities that I can go to at any time, day or night, and vice versa. And I love the fact that they're like, well, I didn't want to wake you. Was it an emergency? Did you really need somebody? Yeah. I go, then you call. That's what I answer my phone. I don't sit there and go, I don't think so. I answer my phone when it rings. It ain't somebody else. It ain't a recording service. You'll know it's me because I'll be like, hello. you know it's me. And then I'm like, okay. And they're like, oh, you were sleeping. I'm like, not anymore. What's the matter? And then as soon as I feel their energy, that's it. It's like I've been up all day. It's like, let's go. It doesn't bother you. I'm like, no. If I can't help somebody with these abilities, again, why the hell did they give them to me?
Right.
And I don't have the right or the pompousness required to charge anything that's got commas in it. It's just not me. I overfill, and I'd rather overdo it than underdo it. I'd rather overwhelm you than underwhelm you. So my readings may run long, but if Spirit tells me they have to get this message through, it doesn't matter how many angles I have to come at it or reword it. I need to make sure that you've understood what they're saying because they're telling me it could be a life or death situation. And especially anybody in the paranormal, if they've asked for a favor, nothing. More people owe me favors. I'm like, yeah. My son's like, you never collect. I'm like, it's just not my nature to. It's just not how I roll.
Right.
I mean, I wish sometimes I was that pompous person, but then I see what everybody else has done with their money, fame, and fortune. And I'm just like, I don't want to be that person. I don't like them. I liked them better when they were poor.
Yep. And that's one of the things, too, like with Dwayne, I will tell him, because he used to be like, oh, I want a TV show or I want this, and I'm like,
careful what you wish for, boo. Careful what you wish for.
No. Well, Camille, I think she does some, but she also does some free. She said, I'm new here and just got here. Are these fake?
Anytime I do a live, Camille, my readings are free. They're free.
So if you would like, then just let her know, and we'll get you hooked up with the mini read.
Yeah, and please feel free to follow my page. It's the Purple Dahlia Medium. I know, really fancy, isn't it? Same thing on YouTube, Purple Dahlia Medium. I know, TikTok, Purple Dahlia Medium. I know, I'm not very, kind of vanilla looking.
We're
but on the inside, in the inside, I can be like Rocky Road or something. But like on the outside, I can help anybody in their business and get you more business. When it comes to me, I'm like, yeah, as long as it's purple, I'm good. I don't really have anything. That's why I don't have any swag, because they're like, what's your icon? I'm like, oh, an icon?
Don't know.
Well, what would you like? Purple? Purple what? Dahlia? I don't know. Purple? Isn't that enough?
Right?
I don't do good with options.
I designed our logo in 2017, and then I don't know if were you around when Tim was on our team? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Tim's wife, Twerking Tim, his wife actually made it a printout for us, and that's what we've been using ever since.
I mean, seriously, if I was going to come up with the name myself, why would it have to be the Purple Dahlia, comma, not your average medium? That's super long. It's a lecture. It's a thesis. But that's what Spirit told me, and I'm like, no, I need something shorter and better, and I don't know why it's catchy, but they always remember who the hell I am.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure it's not my accent though.
Justin came up with our name, and I designed the logo.
Yeah, so one night a week I do free readings, and then the other show, it can be anything topical. So we call it Under the Paranormal Moon, because if it's anything to do with the paranormal, whether it means like a TV show mentioned this place, but it just so happened to be haunted, they didn't know, whatever it is, it allows me to access that and do whatever I want for that show.
Yep.
Oh no, Camille, careful. Oh, careful.
No.
Careful what you would. No, Camille, don't say that. Don't say that. It's a big burden. It's a big burden. It's not always fun, honey.
For me, though, all the reads that I can do for anybody else, I cannot communicate with my own family. If it was
guess what? We're not supposed to. But we're not supposed to be able to read ourselves. We're not supposed to be able to connect for our own enjoyment. That's why they don't give us lotteries. Can you imagine if they gave us lottery numbers?
Oh, that would be great.
Just once I'd like to be like, ooh, I won and you can't get none. No, if I win, it's like $1 and I get excited.
Right?
I can't contain myself. My husband's like, was that $1,000? I'm like, no, it's $1. He goes, so you want another ticket? I'm like, no, I want my $1 back. It was fun while it lasted, get my money back. We can't read ourselves, and we can't usually read or connect with family specifically if that's the one we want to connect with. However, for healing, they say you can't heal family members. There's an exception to the rule. So you can heal your husband because he's family only by marriage. But careful, if you give a mouse a cookie, they will have you healing their back, their knee. The list gets lengthy. I'm just warning you. And the other thing is only if it's an utter emergency. But both my children have abilities, so they know when something is really wrong. But if they're calling mom and they're like mom and they don't say mom, they're not being a smart ass, I know something's really wrong, and that's when I'm like, all bets are off. I will sacrifice and forfeit anything. Just to make sure that they're okay.
Yep. Yeah, for me, there's 3 people. Like, I can connect with my aunt. And I've given my cousin messages from my aunt, which me and my aunt were really close. I can connect with her. But there's 3 other people super, super close to me that's passed that I can't connect with. And actually, I'd called Joni one night because it was really, really, really bothering me. And the person that I was trying to connect with had come to her a few hours earlier before I had called her.
And they do that. If they know who is our emergency person, they will connect with them knowing that we will go to that person.
Yep.
They already know before we know. There's no way to hide it. There's no way. Listen, when you've got too much on your plate, so say if you're dealing with a medical issue, they take it off your plate. And then, so I had a surgery done. I was healing. Everything was fine. There was a couple of hiccups here and there. I was like, next week, I'm going to take the rest of the week off. And Spirit goes, no, you're going live tonight. No bitches. I'm still healing. I'm taking the night off. Do you know they drove me batshit crazy with ears ringing, a headache, till I went live. As soon as I went live, it all stopped. But as soon as you're ready, you're supposed to be when we're ready. Not when they're ready. When we're ready, we go live. No. It's when they're ready and they know we've been ready and they're not going to let us drop the ball or sit on it for another day. So if you have abilities and you've had your awakening, you're getting all these crazy migraines, you have to use the energy up so that you can get rest, or they'll keep you awake for days with a headache or ears ringing until you use it. Or if you get the message wrong, they will keep throwing it at you and make you choke on it.
Yes.
But most of my clients, I don't pay for any advertising. Most of my clients are all word of mouth, and almost all of them have abilities of some form.
Yep.
And I've never paid for advertising. So when I go to certain places, they're like, well, we heard of the page you work for, because I work for Live Paranormal. I'm their resident psychic and their page manager. Why haven't I heard of you? Because I don't pay for advertising, because I'm not in it for fame and fortune. I'm in it to help people. And then when they talk to somebody that they do know from that page, and they'll give me like my credibility, they're like, why don't we know her? And they're like, she doesn't pay. Because I don't pay for advertising. My whole thing is, if you need me, Spirit will help you find me. They always do. Always. Every time I run out of money in my account because I'm doing things for other people with it, Spirit refills it. I don't have a lot of need for money. I live in the boonies, and as long as I have yarn and I can like get an ice cream every once in a while at Dairy Queen, or a cup of coffee because I suck at making coffee, I'm happy. It's all I need. I don't care if my jeans are ripped. They're more comfortable that way.
I agree. Now, my kids, the only thing I need money for is my kids and Dwayne, because they're all expensive.
Jim James Wyrick? I don't know. Maybe by face, Linda, I'd have to see a picture of the person. But yeah, no, my kids, like, I never carried money on me. I tell all my kids carry emergency 20. That's all I ever carry on me. And all summer long, I'd save coins, but that's for the vending machines for baseball and hockey. Like, and they couldn't get money off me unless they knew how much they needed. Don't tell me it's 85 cents. Show me in math. Show me how many coins you need. That's the only way you're getting the money.
Oh, my kids are spoiled. They're like, I want an iPhone. Okay, here's your new iPhone.
That's what my husband's for. If they want something, they know I'm going to say no. They go through my husband, and he's like, well, I already agreed to it. I'm like, well, tell him your wife found out. I'm like, why are we paying? And then he's like, oh, is Dad home? I'm like, why? How much do you need? Because I'm saying no.
See, mine is always go ask Dwayne. And, of course, Dwayne, like, I already know, and they know as soon as I say that, Dwayne's going to tell them yes.
Every wife knows this. If we want something out of our husbands, we know how to get it, how to set it up that the kids can get it. And my kids are no different. They're like, so we need a favor. We need you to be on board with this. What if I'm not on board with this? We need you to be on board with this anyways. And you always wonder as a parent, like, how effective you are in your parenting, because there's no real rule book for this. Y'all know that, right?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
So my youngest son said to me not too long, he's like, I just want to thank you. I'm like, oh, Christmas, what did I do now? And he's like, no, he goes, because the best advice you ever gave us, or he goes, particularly me, was, I love you. I may not like your choices, but I'm always going to love you.
Yo.
The older one I hear from, he's supposed to call once a month since he graduated high school, and I think I heard from him last week. Like, it's very sporadic, but he's busy. I get that. He's one of those weird child prodigies, my punishment for all those times I partied in high school. Yeah, he's got photogenic memory, like to the page, the paragraph, the comma, everything. and he's an administrator at a very schmancy college. You don't want to see you don't want to see this girl rolling up in her Ford with ripped jeans. My husband gets stressed out and I'm like, where are we going? Oh, we're going to see our son. I'm like, oh, I roll up and he's like, yeah, you should probably stay in the car. I'm like, you think I care that these people got money? Guess what? They'll be calling me next week when something's gone wrong. Almost every campus my son has been to has been haunted.
Oh.
And then I get the phone call, Mom, and I'm like, well, you've got ability. He's like, no, I don't. I'm like, yes, you do. He's like, can't you just come and fix this so I don't look weird? I'm like, okay, but you want me to look weird outside? It's like, yeah, no one's going to care about you. Okay. Even better.
Right?
But most of the properties that the colleges have been on, and this is every college, has a historical something or other that took place there, and it's haunted. So I don't want to hear that, like, oh, there's only certain places that are haunted. Every place is haunted to some effect or
University of
another.
Arkansas is.
Yes.
State of
And then-
Massachusetts.
I love when they're like, well, why would a doctor's or why would, this place be haunted? And I'm like, okay, well, it's not
'Cause
just
it is?
the business that it is now. You got to look at the business that's there now, the items that they have in there currently. Is there any antiques? Is there anything like that? What was attached to the land? What has this land been for the last however many years that the earth has been here?
Did you guys know that people go to hotels to die? Every friggin' room is like haunted. Like, I'm the first. They always send me first. I like to be the last one in a room. That means that I'm the first person out if something goes really wrong. But they go there to die. It's either like you've got nobody else or they know they're dying and they just go and then they end up stuck there. Listen, spirits that are stuck there, don't creep everybody else out there that's there for just a little vacation, a little R&R, like, fun, some drinking. Don't show up in the middle of the night and scare the bejesus out of people that have been drinking all night.
Right? And that's
We
like
look crazy.
when we go to like long trips, Dwayne laughs at me because I won't stay at a location that we're investigating. Whether they offer spending the night there, whatever, I will not sleep there. And he's like, oh, so you're going to go back to the haunted hotel and sleep? And I'm like, look, it's a different mindset when I'm at the hotel. If something was to happen, it happens, but it's not the area that I'm actively. Like, when I get in that mindset and I try to lay down and go to sleep, it's not going to happen because I'm going to be thinking about all the haunted stuff. Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
But when I go there, I'm in a different mindset.
Have
He's
you
like,
been?
"You're just weird."
Have you
I'm like,
investigated in Gettysburg yet?
No,
No.
we want
Yeah,
to,
okay.
but
You should go to the Farnsworth. There's this lovely little boy named Jeremy. He's so sweet. I stayed in his room, which supposedly a lot of activity happened, but I won't ever know because when I'm there, I don't read what other people experience because I want to experience my stuff. So my
Right.
producers tell me all this creepy stuff that happened in their room. I go, nothing happened. Wait, nothing's happened in that room? I go, I explained to Jeremy that since I'm the only girl in this room, we will not open bathroom doors. We will knock before we address somebody in the bathroom or in the shower. That's just what we do. He's a child. I'm a mother. That's the end of it. So they're like, well, your husband has to be experiencing something. I'm like, he could sleep through a fire. I know. He slept through a fire. The fireman was like, you have to wake him up. I'm like, all right, fine. But you take the pets. So I woke him up. My husband's like, you have no idea what's been happening in here? I'm like, I don't need to know what happens in here because I spoke to Jeremy in the basement. And then even when I wasn't staying at the Farnsworth, that's where my producer gives me the location because once I arrive there, he makes me shut off my GPS and just gives me verbal directions because I really have no idea where I'm investigating until I'm there. But Jeremy will hop in the car and he'll be so excited. He came to see me. I'm like, of course I came to see you, Jeremy. Of course I did. And he usually follows me to the next location. But Gettysburg, per capita, per square foot, per square inches, haunted.
we have we're really good friends with. God, now I'm gonna go blank.
Gus?
Gettysburg.
Oh, Pamela and Steve.
Yeah, Pam and Steve Berry. They're absolutely amazing. Do you know them from the Gettysburg
Gettysburg.
Exchange?
I don't think so.
Down the little store there, it's the Gettysburg.
It's never
Or
listen.
those
It's
sweet.
never open when I'm rolling into town, and it's never open in the midnight hours when I'm rolling out of town, so I don't have to deal with traffic on the road.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I-
they're really.
If you
amazing.
go to Lincoln Square, which is a circle, I don't get it. To me, I don't like calling. I'm calling them out like, did you know it's round though, right? It's not a square. It's round.
Right.
My son called, and he's never called, and I shut off my phone because I gave it to one of my producers. And my son called, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess." And he's like, "Something happened." He goes, "Because I call it my mummy radar. When I know a certain area will hurt, it's one son. Other area will hurt, it's my other son." So he's like, "My mummy radar went off." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Oh, we got chased out of a building by a spirit." And he's like, "Did you give him your best Boston?" "Oh, I did." And he goes, "And?" I go, "And I'm standing outside right now in the snow in kitty cat pajamas." And my son's not concerned that I got chased out of a building. He's like, "You didn't wear the kitty cat pajamas." "Yeah, I did. And I'm standing outside in the snow." He goes, "Why would he chase you?" I go, "Because he smelled like vomit."
Oh.
It was all fun and games. I must have used my whole bottle of Armageddon smudge that. Like, it was, and it's not for any other reason other than he smelled like, if he didn't smell like vomit, that would have been something else. I couldn't stay in the apartment that they gave me for my duration of the investigation, because when I walked in, I was checking out the rooms, and there's a spirit, and he's tapping on the bed. He's like, "You're gonna be sleeping here later." I'm like, "Even if you weren't dead, never gonna happen. And I will cross over, knee you in the nuts, and then come home in time for breakfast. Don't worry about it." Somebody got on this bed, and my husband's laughing because he's like, "How you getting in that bed?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "You got a Superman?" Because I'm so short. Literally, the bed was where my hip was. He's like, "They give you a step stool?" I go, "No." He goes, "Well, when you go to bed, FaceTime me. I got to see this, right?" So that's supposed to be ha 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 funny. Somebody sat on the bed. It wasn't me. And my camera guy was like, "You didn't do that." I go, "I know you did." We turned around and just yelled downstairs for the producers to come up. "Don't you know they made a bigger dent in the bed?"
Oh wow.
So I ended up sleeping in the historical building that we're supposed to be investigating because the apartments were haunted and nobody said anything.
See, that's like when we went to a place in Little Rock called the USS Razorback. And it's not actually named after the Arkansas Razorbacks football team. It's
Okay.
got a different name. A lot of people think that it's named after our football team, but it's not. But anyways, we investigated the submarine. And I mean, we got a little bit of activity, but like nothing, too super or whatever. And like I said, I will not sleep at the location that we investigate because they have like
That's my new rule though. After the Lincoln Square, that's really a circle. That's my new rule. Like, I don't want to sleep in something connected to the. Like, just tell me if I'm staying. You want me to stay in something haunted? They wouldn't allow
Right.
a Ouija board, but they have haunted items. I'm like, I'm so confused.
So we investigated the submarine, and the other team that was there with us, they're like, "Yeah, we'll sleep in the bunks in the submarine." And there was plenty that we could have slept down there too, but me being me, I'm like, "No, I'll go sleep in the museum." Gosh, Eric, museum has all the artifacts in it, but whatever. We're gonna go sleep in the museum part of it because I'm not gonna sleep in the sub that we investigated.
No, that was
Well,
just.
I just thought we were going to sleep there because as we were talking about who was going to sleep where on the floor in the sleeping bags, I'm like, "Oh, I'll just sleep right here in front of this." And about that time, there is the loudest bang on the glass right in front of me. And we're all standing there like nobody that was in there, human or like living wise, hit anything on the glass. And I'm like, "Nope. We're driving the 3 hours back home, even though we've all been up for over 24 hours. We're driving back home." And
That's exactly what you do. That's exactly what you do.
Yep. Because we were all like, "Okay, well, I'm not sleeping here." And I was like, "Okay, well, maybe we'll sleep in our car." And I'm like, "No, I'm not sleeping in my car in the park in Little Rock, which is the bad part." And I'm like, "Nah, we'll drive home." So after
right
being
there
up
with
for
you.
over 24 hours, we drove 3 hours back home.
Most of the time, if somebody needs a favor from me, as long as you pay for my gas money and give me a place to crash, I'm good. That's it.
But goodness, all right. Well, we
Say
have
me, Sam.
went like way over.
Oh,
It's getting really late, which I don't mind going over. It's been fun. We've been talking, but it's 11 o'clock, and I gotta be up and in town at 7 o'clock in the morning.
well,
so-
again, thank you for having me on. Let me just say,
Definitely.
I'm one of your biggest fans for your paranormal group because I've been there from the
Thank
beginning.
you.
And
I appreciate that.
most people don't realize that the two are connected, but if you're a fan for the longest time, suck it up. You need to be part of a paranormal group. If you've been there from the
Right.
beginning, you need to be. You gotta have it. It's like a gold rush feeling, but you need to have it. And anytime you guys want to come on my show or you need something promoted, please let me know. If you need anything, let me know. And
Awesome,
again,
yeah.
we're gonna have to meet up and do a co-investigation somewhere because I can see
Oh,
it
for
happening.
Definitely, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be
Like I
amazing.
said, we're fixing it to meet up with Linda and Brandy. I don't think that we're gonna do any investigating, but I know we're gonna at least get to meet
I'll
up with
travel. I usually like to drive because one, I find the drive's very relaxing. I know it seems weird as long as there's not traffic. And
Yeah, I
really
don't do flights. I don't do airplanes, so we drive everywhere
Yeah.
we go.
Exactly. But if you guys are ever in this area or if there's a place that you want to, co-investigate, let me know because if I can get enough of us together, because we all are dying for a road trip. So, yeah, we'll do
Definitely.
it. We'll do it.
Yeah, just keep in touch with Dwayne. Like,
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Hi, Kim. But yeah, just keep in touch with him. But we'll
Absolutely.
gladly come on your radio, on your show anytime. Just let us know and
Absolutely.
just give a shout or let everybody in here know. I know most people know
We're,
who you are.
we're
but-
doing a pop-up on Saturday because we'll be at the USS Salem, and it's like part 2 for me because I've done investigated before, and it'll be interesting to see if the ghost remembers his manners or he'll get sent to the corner again. But yeah, absolutely, it's been an absolute pleasure. Please, everybody, pay positivity forward and be safe.
Yes, definitely look her up on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Let's help her get her YouTube going.
Yes, please,
So-
thank you.
Definitely look her up. Hit that button and subscribe for her, guys.
And definitely, thank you all for tuning in tonight. We will be back live next Sunday night as we welcome Mr. Howie Odell to Darknite Radio for the first time. If you're not familiar with him, he's the host of the Orion Effect podcast. He's also the founder of the Rift Network. So it should be pretty exciting. And again, Lisa, thank you for hanging out with us all night.
Definitely.
Thank
have to do
you.
it. It's been fun.
Pleasure was all mine. Have a good night, y'all.
You
Bye.
as well. We'll see y'all next Sunday, same time. Good night.
Jumped off.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.